into the day with the dawn ringing in my ears. Oh, I tune to my TV show. No better way, I gotta get myself into gear. Let's go. Oh, and I feel good today with my wake up in the morning Expresso. I feel good today. It's my feel good breakfast show.
Yes, you beautiful souls. Welcome to it. A very good morning. Welcome. This is your feel-good kickstart to a new day. Do you want to emulate the dance you were just doing? Was that the...
This is my show. This is my hype move.
Is that the Wednesday dance?
That's my Wednesday dance. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
and
the
we're doing
middle
a bit
of the week.
A floss.
Midweek slump for what? End of the year slump for what? I shouldn't even say that, end of the year slump, but it's got that kind of feel at the moment. A lot of people suffering from exhaustion, fatigue. So we got you sorted. We're going to be a shot in the arm today, excuse the pun, and we're going to have a lot of fun.
Did you have any dreams? I wake up in the morning to be like,
I would have needed to have slept last night to have any dreams, and little one is going through a phase at the moment. Parenting, they said to have
it'll
to,
be
eh?
fun, they said.
Crazy.
So no dreams,
it's the
okay.
most rewarding process of your life. Honestly, it's just amazing. No, we thankfully have enough to keep us energized this morning.
Yes, this morning we are going to be inspiring you with so much kids play. So we're going to do a fitness workout with them. Also going to be playing beer pong.
Really?
When's the last time you played beer pong?
Sure, felt like I might have played that last night, actually. I'm pretty good at it. I am pretty good, okay? That's why I'm so good at the Juicy Kaboom game. We are going to have a lot of fun this morning. And, of course, we are going to get super amped and pumped up for more outings for summer. It's here, and we're going to be finding out together with all of our experts this morning on how we can maximize those summer months.
Yes, and of course, Editor-in-Chief at Modern Living, Daniel Weekly, is also going to be showing us how effortless alfresco dining can be. So you want to stick around for that. And one person who's very excited about summer because he has his shorts on.
Look at those knees.
Look at those legs.
Look at those
Serve
knees,
us, Mr.
man.
What's up, Mzansi? Welcome to the magic. And of course, don't worry, if you're lacking the energy because it's the middle of the week, I got you. Why? Because I don't have kids. And I'm here to serve you up with all the energy that you need to get you through the day. So thank you so much for joining us this morning. It's Wednesday. It's a beautiful day to celebrate. And we're celebrating a lot of things. And we're always talking to you on our social media channels. Like we said, I love the fact that we are broadcasting all throughout the world. So we've got YouTube, we've got Facebook, we've got Twitter, we've got Instagram, we've got everything that makes you connect to us. And that's why we're asking a question this morning, and I know this is a tough one. This is a massive debate. The question is, who has the best superheroes? Is it Marvel? Is it DC? It's time to settle this once and for all. Now, I know you have some favorites. I know they all have some attributes that we all love, but we got to settle this. We got to find out who is the best. Is it Marvel? Is it DC? Come through on our social media channels. Let us know what you think. Let us know what your thoughts are, and let us know what side you're on. And hopefully we can settle this today, Mzansi. But of course, like I said, the energy is here. It's Wednesday, and we're about to serve it up for you one more time. And before we get into all the magic, let's find out what's happening in the news with Jamie Lee Domberg. See you soon.
Thank you, Mr. Demone. We'll start with those national news headlines. Now, the Department of Health has confirmed that the United Kingdom would consider the data provided by South African government scientists in the next review of its red list within 14 days. Now, this comes after local government experts had a meeting with their UK counterparts over the red list of high-risk countries. The UK and local experts also discussed the recognition of each other's vaccine certificates. Both governments said they support and recognize the importance of vaccination as a way out of the pandemic. And then President Cyril Ramaphosa yesterday asked the World Trade Organization, the WTO, to suspend intellectual property rights for COVID-19 vaccines to bridge the huge gap in vaccination rates worldwide. India and South Africa last year brought the intellectual property waiver proposal before the World Trade Organization, but there has been no consensus. Proponents argue this will boost production in developing countries and address the dramatic inequity in access. But there's also fierce opposition from pharmaceutical giants and their host countries, which insist patents are not the main obstacles to scaling up production. And then on the international front, US President Joe Biden has nominated Dr. John Nkengasong to lead the well-resourced public health program aimed at combating HIV and AIDS, known as the President's Emergency Plan for AIDS Relief. Nkengasong currently heads the Africa CDC, the agency leading the fight against the COVID-19 pandemic. The $7 billion program is known for offering funding and treatment to governments meant for people who are living with HIV, the majority of them in sub-Saharan Africa. Now, if approved, the Cameroon-born virologist will be the first person of African origin to head the program. And then women in Afghanistan who were judges in the previous dispensation now say they live in fear. Some 220 female judges across Afghanistan are in hiding, changing locations every few days after the Taliban had visited their previous homes. Some of the female judges have been imprisoning women's rights activists and thousands of criminals for more than 30 years. They also received death threats and had to change their phone numbers after most of the prisoners have been released since the Taliban returned to power. And then the elusive Rooikat comes to Kirstenbosch National Botanical Gardens. Staff members of world-famous Kirstenbosch Botanical Gardens in Cape Town are over the moon with excitement as 2 caracal kittens have been spotted there. They say their mother have decided that Kirstenbosch is a safe place to leave her kittens, and they'd very much like everyone to help keep it that way. Mother caracals raise their kittens alone and often have to leave their young for periods while they hunt. Considering how reclusive this species is, seeing the kittens is an absolute treat. But people are urged to remain respectful of their space, to remain at least 25 meters away, and to keep as quiet as possible. The caracal is commonly known in South Africa as a Rooikat. It's a medium-sized wildcat characterized by a robust build, long legs, long tufted ears, and long canine teeth. It's highly secretive, territorial, and lives mainly alone. So why not pay a visit to Kirstenbosch? And who knows, you may just be lucky enough to catch a glimpse of one. On that note, that is where I wrap up your 6 o'clock news headlines. We will be back on the top of the hour. Graham Richards is standing by with a first look at the sports.
Thanks so much, Jamie. Let's start with rugby news. Springbok coach Jacques Nienaber has made 2 injury-enforced changes to his matchday squad. That's for their final rugby championship clash up against the All Blacks this weekend. And that'll see Ox Nche returning and earning a starting berth, and then Jasper Visser being drafted in among the replacements. So Nche will start at loosehead prop with Trevor Nyakane switching to tighthead. That was after Frans Malherbe was ruled out due to a neck niggle. Visser takes over from Marco van Staden, who suffered a shoulder injury in the latter stages of last week's 19-17 narrow defeat. And Cheslin Colby is sadly still ruled out due to that leg injury. And Siya Kolisi will play his 30th Test match as captain and surpass Francois Pienaar to become the 4th most capped Springbok captain in history, an incredible milestone. Then staying with our national footballing news now, Banyana started their CASAFA Cup title defence on a positive note by beating Malawi 2-1 at the Nelson Mandela Bay Stadium. So a new look and pretty youthful Banyana were not their vintage self, but still took the lead inside just 2 minutes, in fact. Malawian goalkeeper Samir Amidou came off her goal line, leaving the post wide open, and Melinda Khadiet, she made no mistake as she slotted in the empty net. Nokolo Kasane's deflected shot extended the lead for Desiree Ellis' side just before the stroke of hard time. Then Wesley Mvula pulled one back for the visitors at the death, but Banyana's next match is against Angola on Friday. They'll hopefully carry with them that momentum. Then staying with football, UEFA is dropping its disciplinary case against Real Madrid, Barcelona and Juventus over their involvement in the controversial European Super League. So European football's governing body said that the proceedings are null and void, as if the proceedings had never in fact been opened, and the clubs were among the 12 so-called founding members of the breakaway league, which later collapsed. The trio have since refused to renounce the project and were being investigated for a potential violation of UEFA's legal framework. The move comes after a court in Madrid ruled that UEFA should not punish the 3 remaining clubs. Then on to cricket. Pool B back action in the CSA T20 knockout got underway with a double-header as KZN's inland team faced the Mpumalanga Rhinos, and then the Titans clashed with the Knights. The Rhinos won the toss, elected to bat first, and they were restricted to just 112 for 8, with Ruben Herman top scoring with 32, and Gareth Dukes and Raul Nipper taking 2 wickets apiece. In response, Cameron Delport hit an unbeaten 72 to guide his team to a very emphatic 7-wicket win. The second match of the day was between the 2 favourites, with the Knights winning the toss and choosing to field first. The Free State side restricting their opponents to 143 for 8 as Miguel Pretorius took 3 for 21. Then Riley Rousseau scored 73 not out to see his team over the line with 6 wickets left. Well, I'll touch on those headlines again in about an hour or so. Right now, let's set the tone for this Wednesday morning. Hopefully a beautiful one with what's happening on the weather front.
Thank you so much, G. Now to take a look at the weather. First up this morning, the SA Weather Service has warned of a significant change in weather, which could see localized flooding in parts of the Free State, Eastern Cape and KwaZulu-Natal today and tomorrow. Now, areas said to be affected by minor localized flooding include Thabo Mofokeng municipality and the eastern areas of the Garib district municipalities of the Free State, Alfred Nzo, OR Tambo, Joe Gabi and Chris Hani district municipalities of the Eastern Cape, and in places over the southern parts of KwaZulu-Natal, such as the eThekwini Metro, Ugu, Harigwala and the Umgungundlovu and Ilemba district municipalities today and tomorrow. Now, strong winds are also expected to accompany the change over the central areas of the country, including the northern Free State, northwest and eastern, well, the eastern and areas other of the northern Cape too. Now, the eastern half of the northern Cape, as well as the western half of both the Free State and northwest provinces, can expect severe thunderstorms, which will hail, and strong winds are also expected, damaging winds, and a lot more very similar to that tomorrow afternoon. So we move on from stormy forecast, however, to appreciating the stunning sunrises and the images that we've been receiving before the wet weather started rolling in. And starting off with Alton Pizarro Kolinski from Klerksdorp Dam, who starts us off with this absolutely beautiful and peaceful view overlooking the dam while fishing as the sun comes up. Ah, absolutely stunning. It looks like the perfect start to a new day. And then on top of this, we had Sharina Pican from Arniston, who shared this bright shot overlooking a calm ocean as the day begins just after sunrise. Oh, setting such a calm tone to my soul. I can't thank you enough, Mzansi, and to everyone that's sending in these pictures. Please keep coming and keep making us all smile. But to look at the rest of the temperatures across the country, we're starting off in Polokwane with a low of 15 and a high of 29 degrees. Mbabela starts the day on 15, moving up to 27 with 25% chance of cloud cover. Pretoria, thunder showers can be expected with a low of 16 and a high of 32 degrees. In Johannesburg, your day starts at 13, moving up to 29 degrees. In Mahikeng, you've got a minimum of 16 and a high of 32. In Klerksdorp, you've got a low of 15 and a high of 30 degrees with 25% chance of cloud cover. In Kimberley, you can expect some rain with a low of 14 and a high of 26 degrees. Bloemfontein, much the same, rain can be expected. 11 is your low with a high of 24 degrees. Richards Bay, rain also expected, as we've just warned you, a low of 17 and a high of 22, 64% chance. And then in Pietermaritzburg, definitely some rain expected there, 86% chance coming through with a low of 13 and a high of 18 degrees. Durban, very similar, rain expected too with a low of 18 and a high of 20. And Mthatha carries on with the rainy conditions expected with 71% chance, a low of 12 and a high of only 15. In East London, your low starts at 12 with a high of 17. And again, rain expected all the way around there. And in Cradock, we're moving on with some more rain, continuing 55% chance, a low of 10 and a high of 16. Gqeberha starts the day at 13, moving up to 17 degrees with again rain expected. And George carries on with the rainy day, 70% chance coming through with a low of 11 and a high of 16 degrees. And then surprisingly, Cape Town doesn't expect too much rain with a low of 14 and a high of 18 degrees. Worcester, however, does have some cloudy skies in the day with a low of 10 and a high of 20 degrees Celsius. In Sutherland, your day starts at a chilly 5 degrees as per the norm, it seems, and a high of 15 degrees will be your maximum. And last but not least, we've got Uppington with a low of 12 and a high of 29 degrees. Again, heed all that warning for the storm that is coming through for the rest of South Africa. We do hope that you stay safe and please stay indoors and stay connected to us because we've got you covered for the rest of the morning.
So fast becoming my favorite part of the show. I know I say that about most elements of the show because I just love it all, but we've been delving into some of the animations from the animation school, and we've got another absolute cracker for you in just a moment.
Yes, and Ronaldo Morning will also be taking the kids through a workout, but you can join in along as well, so stick around for that. We'll see you in just a moment.
Oh, you can make my day.
Get an insurance quote for your home or car and stand a chance to win one of 8 Samsung Galaxy S21 phones plus 100 gigs of Standard Bank mobile data for a year. To enter, SMS the keyword motor to 31492 to get a callback and quote, and you could be a winner.
Check, test. 1, 2. Mic, check. Lot of reverb. Make a little less wet. Stuck in a tunnel. 1, 2, 3. Split the difference.
Can I get a shot
Not
of?
rock out. Too early for rock
A
out.
shot of.
Let's jazz. Let's light cocktail lounge up.
Not getting it.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back, everybody. This is your Feel Good Breakfast Show, our favorite segment. Yes, we spoke
Yeah,
about
we
it,
love
all
it.
about the animation school. Now, 2 brothers who have set their sights on being among the stars are on their way to making their dream come true. However, when the older brother has to make a tough decision, both will soon learn how to be the hero in each of their own stories.
I love this. This is the narrative that is about to unfold in what looks like a magical short animated film titled Rocket Boys. And this was created by the brilliant third-year students from the animation school back in 2017. Let's dive right in.
Now we're crying.
I knew it. I should have braced myself. I knew it was going to be sad, man.
Brought you tissues for
That
this
is
one.
beautiful, man. Imagine if that's what they are capable of, as you said, in just their 3rd year. Imagine where those animators are right now. We absolutely love that.
Yeah, but we're certainly embarking on a heroic and fantastical adventure this morning. So let's kick it off by getting into some fitness that will make your children the hero in their stories.
Yes, of course, keeping that theme sticking to kids as well. And this is maybe the part where I get to turn into the biggest kid in the studio, and that's why I'm so excited. You know how much I love this part of the show, and we've got a specialist in the building to show us how. So, the physical activities, kids learn about sportsmanship, setting goals, meeting challenges, teamwork, and the value of practice. Now, it's recommended that school-aged kids get 1 hour or more of moderate to strong physical activity daily. Now, if you can be outside like we are about to be doing now, or at least recreating an outdoor theme, then this is going to be even better. And we've got fitness trainer Masi Matodlana here to show us how it's done. Masi in the building. How you doing, brother?
Morning, Mike.
Are you ready to be a kid again with me?
Oh,
Yes!
Back for the old days. Yeah. I'm so happy to be back here today.
Cool, man.
We'll be focusing on the kids stuff. You know, kids development. It's always a little bit challenging, but it's more fun.
Yes.
It's all about fun for the kids.
Yes.
Sometimes you just do like crazy stuff, but to them, it means a lot.
Yes, and I think it's just the fact that we can get the kids to move, which is always a benefit. Getting them away from those screens that they're always getting absorbed into.
Yes.
There's so much benefit to this. And you apparently going to be showing me some of the moves you got for us today. And for kids at home, Mzansi, you could probably do the same thing, right?
Yeah. You can do it, it should be like maybe parents and the kids, maybe sometimes just kids on their own, you know. So instead of doing just parental, guidance, just kids on their own, they can do it on their own.
All right, but I'm choosing to be a kid now, so let's go through some of these workouts. What are you doing first?
So for the start, we'll be doing balance. So we'll be using only one leg at a time.
All right.
Okay? So you jump in the block,
Oh, nice.
out the block, in the block, out the block, in the block, out the block. That's an easy move for the kids.
All right, let me see if I can try this, because I'm an adult, and that didn't
Just
seem
need
that
some
easy,
little
right?
bit
So
of
we're
a
going
balance there.
in the block,
out.
out the block, in the block, out the block.
You feel
All
that
right.
lag just
In
a
the
little
block.
bit, yeah.
Yeah, feeling the calves, feeling the stabilizers working.
Yes.
Some coordination as well to
You
this,
see?
right? I'm loving this, Masi.
Yes.
Then we go out the block and in the block, and a little bit in the glutes as well. Some stabilizers, some core.
There we go.
Nice stuff.
Okay, now we're changing, moving
Okay.
to 2 feet. So in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out. Easy
Okay,
stuff.
let me try this one. All right.
It's
so double
just
foot,
more
right?
fun for
Together.
the kids, yeah. Double fit together. Out, in, out,
in, out. I can imagine a nursery rhyme being sung while you're doing this.
You know they love to jump.
Angle, swivel, dangle.
There you go.
All
right,
Okay, I'm
okay.
enjoying this.
For the last one, we'll
Okay.
do slightly like jumping jacks in, how kids love these things.
Oh, okay. Nice.
know,
Nice. Nice.
That energy, those sugar levels,
Okay,
stick
all
them
right. So
out.
now we can get the energy out. So we're going
Okay.
in and then out with a little.
Yes,
It looks
you
like you
know,
did a little bit of a star jump there, right?
Yes.
Okay, let's try this. So it's in, out,
in.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Take that
Expresso.
energy out.
In the morning with Messi and the kids.
That's more
Lekker,
fun,
man.
cool stuff.
And I'm thinking to myself now, because not everybody has a ladder, but we could be smart about this, right? We could use like towels on the floor. We could mark out some chalk. We could even go into the sand and draw some lines.
There we go.
No excuse, Mzansi. You can get along and join in with the kids. That was quite a cool workout, and I'm feeling a little bit of a pump already. And we just did like a minute of it.
Yes.
Beautiful stuff.
And you know how kids are so energetic,
Yes.
Spike that energy and then, let me just drop it back down. Give them some jump so that they can cool down.
Oh,
Okay.
Masi, man, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much. I think it's so important, especially the fact that we're highlighting everything about kids this morning. This is something that you do want to do, and don't fret, because we've got a part 2 with Masi in just a bit, so don't go anywhere, Mzansi. Of course, I'm feeling quite appetized. We've worked up a little bit of appetite, so don't forget after all your workouts to refeed and rehydrate. Of course, 2 liters of water a day or some good stuff like the Manhattan iced tea will get you some good electrolytes and nutrients too. Cheers, brother.
Thank you.
Boom, see you later.
Only you can make my day.
Yes, Mzansi, stand a chance of winning up to 3,000 Rand in cash prizes when you play the Maynard's hashtag the Juicy Kaboom game Fridays right here on Expresso.
Come join in on the fun and play the hashtag Juicy Kaboom game live with us and Maynard's every Friday until the 15th of October for your chance to win big cash prizes 6 weeks in a row.
Yeah, now to enter, visit the Expresso Facebook and Twitter page and comment on the Maynard's competition post of the week. And your T's and C's apply.
Juicy Kaboom!
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. You are live with Expresso. We've already inspired you this morning with an amazing animation. Now let's look at the industry at large and create a platform for the best young animators or best animators on the continent. The Cape Town International Animation Festival is the largest dedicated African animation festival on the continent. Now in its 9th year, Diane Makings, the director of the festival, joins us in studio to tell us a little bit more about what we can expect in 2021, because we expect the unexpected in these crazy times of ours. Diane, first of all, I have to check in with everybody who sits on this couch. How are you in these crazy times?
Honestly, Graham, great.
It's great.
Animation did well over this time because we all sit behind computers and because you can network those computers into a central place. We were able to carry on. It wasn't carrying on as normal, for sure. And, I think personally people struggled in their, life because we were all struggling.
Yeah.
But in terms of work, I think we did pretty good.
Yeah, no, I've got a lot of contemporaries in various areas of the industry that just had a breath to be creative, had an opportunity to connect to a global network now. And you talk about networking, the digital kind of leap that's happened over the past 18 months has seen us all connect in a much bigger way. And that's what's at the heart of this festival, taking great animators and connecting them to the big studios, to possibly their break. So for the uninitiated who haven't been there through the nice 9-year journey that you've been on, what is the Animation Festival really all about?
It's exactly what you said, Graham. It's about showcasing Africa's talent to the world and introducing the world to Africa's talent, because we're world class.
Yeah.
I've never done so much work internationally as what I did during COVID, because now you can.
Yeah.
Everyone's on Zoom, so it doesn't matter if you're based in South Africa to them.
Or if you're wearing pants.
Or if you're wearing pants.
And I know, animators don't like to get dressed up. I get that.
But what's been wonderful is that, you know, usually we could only do that in a festival. But now, because we're all online, we're doing that as our normal work day.
Absolutely love that. Ultimately, it's about getting cash. We need cash flow for the industry to thrive. We need investment. Is it starting to happen on the level that you are aiming at? Are we seeing the funding coming in for our projects, for our animators?
Well, definitely, like the consumer's not going to see this just yet, but in 2022, 2023, the projects that are currently in development are going to be coming out. And you're going to see how much the international world believes in Africa, and also how desperate they are for African stories.
And I think that's the beauty of where we are at the moment, is we're telling our own stories. We're no longer borrowing from the West or looking elsewhere. We are recognizing that we've got amazing stories, and we need those storytellers to do that. I've been lucky enough to do some amazing press junkets, meet some amazing filmmakers, animators, movie stars. It really has left its mark on me. For you, being a part of this journey now for 9 years, what has it been like to connect with the big studios, those that are working at the very pinnacle, the Pixars of this world, those guys that are really setting the tone for the rest of the industry? What's that like?
No, I mean, it's amazing. It's also amazing to realize that they're just people, and they've also got jobs, and those jobs are exactly the same jobs that we have here. So the scope is much bigger, for sure. They've got much bigger budgets, they've got much bigger projects, but the day-to-day life in the studio is the same, and the people that you're working with are the same, and they have the same problems that our studios face as well. So it's been so nice to meet them on like a human level and connect and realize that we're not, you know, stuck in the corner in the middle.
Or a cousin in the...
Absolutely, we're not coming cap in hand. We are world-class talents.
We've got something to offer. I know you've said yes, we found an opportunity to thrive over the last 18 months because of the nature of the kind of work. We still have to adapt. How has the festival adapted this year, all things considered?
Well, we're doing a hybrid festival. So
Brilliant.
We've got an in-person at the Old Biscuit Mill, and people can come and they can, you know, do all the normal workshops, lectures, screenings at the Go Drive-In in Salt River. But then what we're also doing is we have a camera set up and we're streaming that content to a platform. And that platform has a lot of pre-recorded content. It's also got a lot of live interviews. And it's been amazing because people don't have to travel for 32 hours to get here. We've gotten access to incredible people like the producers of Vivo, which is currently streaming, and the Lin-Manuel Miranda.
My boy loves it. Oh,
He can come and listen to see how it was made. And we've got Jenny Rim from Glen Keane Studios, and Glen Keane was the guy who made The Little Mermaid. So we got access to an incredible profile of guests this year.
Who is this for? I know from a front-facing, we want to attract the big names. We want someone, that golden moment of the right producer, the right exec saying, wow, I want to invest in that. I want that guy in my team. But who can go to this festival and enjoy it? Who should be? Is it just for animators? Is it for the public at large? Who's going to get the most out of this experience?
I really encourage the public to go to the Go Drive-In and to go check out the films, because the films that we are bringing out are not typically distributed in Africa. And they're bold and they're bright and they're beautiful, and everyone should have a chance to experience something joyful. But the conference itself, I think, is for people who are professionals in the industry, or alternatively people who are looking to make a change. Because the animation industry isn't just run by artists and writers.
Sure.
There are producers like myself, there are accounting people, social media people. So if anyone who has an affinity in the creative industry that is looking for a change, come check it out.
And it's about to blow up. I love the fact that we focus, because we have a feature every week where we feature young animators doing incredible work. If you want to see where the very best are located, especially if you're looking for a new industry to invest in and for some inspiration, that one animated film might change your paradigm, your perspective. Diane, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for doing the work that you do to promote amazing young animators on the continent, and enjoy it. Soak it all up.
It's lovely being here.
We are going to continue our exploration of the Cape Town International Animation Festival currently going down. You have an opportunity, whether you're in the industry or not, to be inspired.
Well, from Popeye with his spinach to Kung Fu Panda with his dumplings, and even maybe the Minions with bananas, even some of our favorite animated characters know that food is bliss.
decadence of double cream bliss from Clover. Yogurt has never been so irresistible.
Made with love by Clover.
Get this, you know, dining on a dime or a shoestring budget doesn't have to be bland or boring. Oh, no, ma'am. Now, with just a few ingredients, you can have a flavorful feast to suit your budget and keep the family happy. So we're about to show you how with our Bliss Yogurt spice chicken and rice. And let me tell you, it smells amazing here. Chef Tumi is here to take us through this, Mama. Good morning.
Chicken and rice and all things nice.
And
All
everything
things nice.
in between. I'm not even lying. It smells so amazing. I don't know if it's the paprika or the lemon zest or the garlic, just a combination of everything.
It's yonkinto, all the flavors in there. We've got cumin, we've got paprika, we've got oregano, we've even got the garlic. I would love to think that you cannot cook without garlic. You have to have garlic there somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But not if you're going on a date or anything, because then you're going to like this the entire time. But it's
Well,
good.
how much garlic
It's
would you
good.
be eating? But also, let's get...
But no, you need to keep the garlic in. Like, I love garlic in it. So
Keeps
you're going in with the
as well, so it's really
cumin.
good for you. So I've got some cumin, I've got some paprika, I've got some cayenne pepper because we like to keep it spicy and hot. I've also got some oregano. We're doing a very simple recipe, very simple but very tasty. And I think the biggest thing that people always have to remember with recipes like this, because we're going to be baking it in the oven, you want to make sure you pack in as much flavor before it goes into the oven. So in here I've got all those beautiful spices. I've got my garlic, which is roughly chopped because you also don't want it to burn, but you want it to release as much of its flavor into the chicken. And we've got some lemon juice. And we were actually talking before we started now that the lemon juice and the yogurt work perfectly because what they're going to do is not only make your chicken nice and tender, but make it nice and juicy.
Because we want that. And then, of course, we're using the hero, which is our Clover Bliss, and we're using the double cream plain yogurt. Now, of course, with the use of the Clover Bliss double cream plain yogurt, in this recipe, you are guaranteed delicious flavors thanks to the creamy indulgence. But it is not only the perfect thing for snacking in between. You can also use it in various dishes, such as this budget-friendly recipe that we're making right now. But you can decide also which portions you want to use. So obviously we are doing the chicken breast. I love chicken breast because it's just good portion control for you as well.
True, and people shy away from using chicken breast because they're afraid that it's going to get dry. And I understand. That's why it's important to use stuff like yogurt. I don't know if you'd noticed when people make butter chicken, yogurt is definitely an ingredient there because of the fact that it helps keep your chicken nice and moist. So don't shy away from it. Just make sure that when you do it, keep an eye on it because you don't want it to dry out. You don't want it to be stringy. You want it to be as soft as possible. And if at any point you're going to be cutting your chicken or cutting into it, make sure you cut against the grain like you would with steaks. You don't cut along the grain, but against it, and that also helps keep your meat nice and tender. And even with chicken, I know most people think this...
She's got a lot to say this morning. She's like coming through with everything. I'm going to hit you with all the tips. Yes, go on, Chef. We are here at your disposal. And
before you cut into your chicken, just like you would with steak, let it rest. People only think that applies to red meat. It applies to chicken
as well.
Let it rest. You want those juices to settle back, right? And we said we're serving this with rice and all things nice, so we need to get started on that rice as well, my baby.
She got to rest, sis. Let her rest. And then we obviously have some rice. We have some white rice, and I see we have some mixed veg, so this is going to go in here as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let me do this. You can get all of that mixed together because luckily all those ingredients are very quick cooking. So you can put it all together first.
So we have some paprika.
A nice hot pan here. We want our oil to fry up and get nice and hot. While you do that, I'm putting these babies into the oven to bake.
Got it.
We want it to bake for about 30 minutes. The whole idea is to make sure that your chicken, first of all, is cooked through because we do not want any pinkness in there. It has to be cooked through. No
salmonella. Oh, no, we're not doing that.
But we also want it to be nice and juicy. So cook it, take it out of the oven, let it, rest before you cut into it. Serve it alongside this amazing rice that you're about to make.
Yes.
And that's a meal on a budget that tastes amazing.
Girl, you are inspiring me because I always find that, again, when you're on a budget, you always think it's going to be boring, it's going to be bland, there's going to be no spices, but this is how we are showing you how to just elevate your dinner. So if you missed it, I threw in some garlic as well, some salt, some pepper, some paprika, and then we're going in with our mixed veg.
You can also do this separately where you fry your veggies first and then add your rice. But
or even put it all together and make some fried rice.
That's what we're about to do.
Oh, we're upgrading. And then some spinach as well. Great color for that chicken That's just going to rest on
Great
this.
source of iron. Not only is it delicious, but also nutritious, and that's what we want to do.
There we go.
Especially because we as mothers are constantly thinking that, and like, how do I hide those veggies and make sure this little one
Friend,
eats them?
the struggle. Smoothies has been my go-to because that's the only thing I'm like, what you going to eat? I'll put kale in the blueberry smoothie and it's going to work. There we go. Oopsie.
Let me
There
fry
we
that
go.
rice, my friend. And then while I do that, you're going to help zest for me that lemon, and then we're going to add that zest right onto this rice of ours. There we go.
There we go.
Simple, easy, delicious, tasty, quick, because you also don't want to spend the whole day in the kitchen. Let this fry down. Once it's fried, put it aside. Serve it underneath your chicken. Make sure your chicken is nice and soft. I mean, the zestiness from the yogurt, the zestiness from the lemons, the flavor of the chicken, the spices, the paprika, the cumin. Whew.
It is
Nandi.
right over here. Yes, right over here. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Of course, to get the recipe, head on over to theexpressoshow.com. But if you missed out on any of the steps, here is a quick recap just for you.
Made with love by Clover. It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. You are still live with Expresso as we continue to, in a way, celebrate our heritage. We are celebrating the art of African animation on a global stage. Thankfully, at the Cape Town International Animation Festival this morning, a little bit earlier, we spoke to a very enthusiastic director of the festival, an awesome human being, Diane Makings. Now we are joined by Loyiso Mkhize, the creator of South Africa's most loved and most awesome superhero comic series, Kwezi. I think you know that face and that name. It's so awesome to be doing. I feel like I'm talking to the black coffee of comic books here because you've taken a leap forward that very few artists are able to do. So first of all, congratulations.
Oh, thank you so much.
I don't know when last you heard that, but you've done something truly amazing. Yeah. And I think where it really hit me when I saw your beautiful comic next to some of the international titles that you've worked on, but you've done it, man.
Yeah.
You've got a comic book, and people love it.
Right.
Does that still need to sink in? Is it something, do you have those moments of buzz when you're finishing something off and you're like, wow?
Yeah, every day, actually. I won't lie. I think, I mean, I've been working on comics now for a lot of years. I mean, over 10 years. Started off illustrating Super Strikers. I'm sure everyone knows that title, and then moved on to my own project, Kwezi. And every day when I go and do my work, my job is actually making comics. So, I mean, of course, it's a dream, right?
It is a dream, but you've still got to do it well. And it's a pretty unforgiving space because to stand out in the clutter, because let's be honest, every universe is jam-packed with amazing characters, great artists, great titles. What is it about Kwezi that's made it so popular? Just give us a bit of background as to the narrative and what makes him such a superhero.
Well, right. I mean, he's a typical South African. I think that's where, you know, the endearing aspect of the character comes from. He's an everyday guy, 19-year-old city dweller hustling in the city of Johannesburg, or Gold City in the story, with his friend Zane, right? Discovers he's got powers, can fly, you know, super strength, invulnerability. And during that time, he's got to basically choose whether or not he wants to become a superstar, a celebrity, which can be, you know, quite attractive, or be a superhero, which means that he has to, you know, go on
his identity. Yeah,
exactly.
I mean, basically living out every fantasy I'm sure you've ever had.
Absolutely.
Which is amazing, but it requires a bit of support. What has been that silver bullet, if you will? How were you able to achieve this? What was that moment that gave you the platform to take it to this level? Because you've clearly unlocked the code.
I think it's also, it's kind of been incremental, because in the beginning it was self-published. So first 2-3 episodes were self-published, so out of one's own pocket. But you know, as the, you know, the demand for the book carried on, as well as the years tumbled on from 2014 to 2016, you know, were discovered by New Africa Books, a publisher in South Africa, allowing us to publish nationwide, you know, in different languages as well. Thus far. Almost all 11 official languages, as well as French. So it's been an incremental growth along with our readership and our fans, right to the point now where we're well into development for the Kwezi animation with Marsh Media locally in Cape Town. So it's not one milestone. It's just incremental milestones. It's a trajectory, right?
I love that. There is something, and I always used to, we were joking about like being a teenage boy. It was Image comics and Top Cow comics that kind of got me into the fold back then. But I used to think constantly, we've got such amazing traditions and a heritage here in Africa, in South Africa, to draw superhero villains, superhero characters, archetypes from. Why is it so important to have these characters, and why is the timing right now?
Wow, I mean, that is, you know, that hits it right on the nail. I think for a comic book like Kwezi, it had to be proudly South African from the word go. 100%. So there you find his companions, Mohau, Azania, and Khoi, who are from different cultures in South Africa and speak different languages. So that aspect of bringing in our culture, whether it's Basotho, Zulu, or Khoi, was very important to give it texture and also remain real for the South African audience.
Yeah.
So that they can, when you pick up the book, not only does the character look like you, but speaks like you, shares the same environment as you. So it was a really a good decision from that point, and now we've just realized that actually what superheroes can do for us in South Africa or in Africa is help us reimagine ourselves and our identity, which is exactly what heritage is all about. It's continuation of redefining all the time.
Yeah, I think we always think heritage is looking back, but sometimes it's looking forward,
also
man.
projecting
It's
forward.
what that next iteration is. I'm just standing here looking at you. You've worked on Batman. I mean, for goodness gracious, this is just unbelievable. And I get the sense that you're only really getting started, my brother. Congratulations on what you've achieved, and congratulations on creating a comic book heritage here in this country that we haven't ever had before.
Right.
You're a trailblazer, bro. You've done something that no one else has, and it's just absolutely amazing to me. So more power, more success, keep releasing amazing titles. I think it's time for a female protagonist, eh?
I think so, too,
I
right?
think that's on the cards. A brilliant opportunity for animators and those that I think have poured so much into the arts to get something out of it. The 9th Cape Town International Animation Festival is taking place from the 1st to the 3rd of October, and it's a hybrid event. It's happening online as well and in person in Cape Town here in South Africa. Don't miss it.
Brilliant.
Yes, we're back again, and of course the theme is kids this morning, and we're serving you up another dose of the good stuff. Earlier on we were jumping over obstacles, moving through hoops and getting the body all warmed up, and it's round 2, time to keep those muscles moving and get the body journeying. And of course, Mzansi, you, the family members, everybody in the household, you can join in on these exercises too. And the man himself is here to show us how it's done. And I love what we did earlier, brother. That was so much
cool stuff, you know, for the kids.
But now I'm getting ready, and I'm feeling like after that chat and seeing that crazy comic, I want to get into that like superhero stance and see what the guys do. So you're going to serve us up with something good, right?
Oh, yes.
All right, what do you got for us?
Okay, so today we're going to start with this reach and squats.
Okay.
So you reach all the way down.
All the way down?
I mean, all the way up. You know,
all right.
It's nice.
All right. So is this something you could maybe even put a little object in your hand with?
Yes. Let those kids carry maybe a backpack.
A backpack where they can do some chores, maybe, you know?
Yes. Hey.
I like that.
Pick up
Now
your book.
I'm feeling stimulation in the legs, in the glutes, the core, the shoulders.
Everything.
This is like a full body workout, right?
Enormous. You need to develop those kids, you know. You don't want them to be weak on their legs or weak on their upper bodies. You know, we got all the different like development skills for the kids.
Nice. And then in terms of reps and sets, how long do you do this for? How many reps would you go for?
Because it's all about the fun for the kids. Let them to do between 12 to 15 repetitions.
Okay.
I want them to enjoy it. Now,
Well,
sometimes they will do it more faster, you know. So you want
You
to keep
okay?
on going.
I see you.
All right.
Still getting warmed up here. It's early in the morning.
Let's just change it just to spike up the energy. You know,
Okay.
the kids love the jumping stuff, you know. You always see them jumping.
Running on a spot.
Yeah.
And I love this also because coordination's something that a lot of kids are lacking these days,
You know,
right?
left to
like we
right.
were speaking about earlier, getting so engulfed in all the modern technology, they're losing sight of the beautiful vessels they're blessed with.
Yes.
So this is awesome stuff. And it's not that easy, eh?
Yeah, that's not. My heart rate's starting spiking up. All right, 2 more. 1. All right. Just change it to windmills. Look at windmills. All right, from there.
Windmills.
Drop it down.
All right.
See when those windmills, they're twisting around.
I'm liking this because not only does it feel like exercise, but I'm getting a little bit of a stretch in the, in the groin area too. Getting a stretch in the inside of the legs, that medial line. Nice.
All right.
Stuff, yeah, man.
Last 2. 1 more. Okay. There's nothing without the lunges for the kids.
Nice.
You know,
and
they
it's the
love it.
exercise that you do throughout your lifetime.
There you
As
go.
an adult, even into your senior years, lunges are so beneficial,
Yes.
right?
Just to try to remember, you don't want to hurt yourself. You know, as adults, most of the time, you want a forward lunge. But today, let's do reverse lunge.
Okay. All right.
It's
So
kinda
that means
easy
you're
taking
stepping
the-
backwards,
yes.
right? Okay. So
Step
take us
there.
through it nice and slowly.
So nice
Zanzi
and-
wants to pay attention to
Okay.
this as well.
Step back.
Step back,
You want
yeah.
to make sure that your knees are behind your toes.
Okay.
Right? And you drop it straight down.
Nice.
Right? Bring it back in. Alternate. Okay.
Ooh, okay.
Different
All right.
back.
I think I'm getting the hang of this. So you can
Yes.
start off nice and slow, Mzansi, if you're struggling with the coordination. And like you said, you're going to have your knee in line with the foot, right?
Yes.
Whew, and this is a nice one because again it feels like I'm also using the stabilizers.
Upper body like upright. You know, you don't want to lean forward all the time.
So it's like we're not a villain, we're a superhero.
Yes.
Yeah.
Show it off.
Nice.
There you go. Yes. There you go. One more.
And you can hear, even though we are going slow, I'm still breathing heavy because you are working out. Although it does look like a lot of fun and like we're dancing, this is a workout, right?
Yes. Definitely.
Man.
Cool workout for the kids.
Absolute magic. Part 2, I think that's a full, rounded out workout. I think it's fun. I think it's brilliant. I think this man over here, Masimatum, is honestly just serving us the good stuff, man. I can't thank you enough for coming through this morning. It's always a pleasure having you in studio.
It's always good to be back.
And thank you, man. This is for the kids, too.
Yes, it's for the kids. Also adults can do
Also adults. If you're a big kid like me or you're a kid at home, it doesn't matter. Get involved in these exercises. Masi's been incredible with us. And I had some fun, man. Shot, brother.
Thank you, brother.
Nice.
Make my day. It's my feel-good breakfast show.
We are still celebrating our heritage and our cultures in this beautiful country in the best way that we can. Thank you so much for keeping it locked on your Feel Good Breakfast show. We're going to savor the last few moments of Heritage Month here on this show, but right now let's bring you up to speed with what's happening around the world and here in South Africa.
Thank you, Mr. G-Man. I'll start with those national news headlines. South African Airways and Kenya Airways are looking to create a pan-African airline group and have signed a memorandum of cooperation. Now, one of the main objectives of the memorandum is to enhance the growth potential of the two airlines on the African continent. Travel and airlines have been battered by the coronavirus pandemic, and this collaboration is set to revive business. The agreement will not prevent the airlines from partnering with other carriers. And then the Department of Health has confirmed that the United Kingdom would consider the data provided by South African government scientists in their next review of its red list within 14 days. This comes after local government experts had a meeting with the UK counterparts over the red list of high-risk countries. The UK and local experts also discussed the recognition of each other's vaccine certificates. Both governments said that they support and recognize the importance of vaccination as a way out of the pandemic. And then on the international front, North Korea launched a short-range missile towards the sea off its east coast early yesterday. This has been confirmed by South Korea's military. The test occurred as North Korea's ambassador told the UN that no one could deny Pyongyang's right to self-defense. Earlier this month, Pyongyang test-fired both ballistic and cruise missiles. The US military said it was aware of the launch, but it posed no immediate threat. However, the US Indo-Pacific Command said that the launch, and I quote, highlighted the destabilizing impact of North Korea's illicit weapons program. And then staying with the international news, US President Joe Biden has nominated Dr. John Nkengasong to lead the well-resourced public health program aimed at combating HIV and AIDS, known as the President's Emergency Plan for AIDS Relief. Nkengasong currently heads the Africa CDC, the agency leading the fight against the COVID-19 pandemic. The $7 billion program is known for offering funding and as well as treatment to governments meant for people who are living with HIV, the majority of them in sub-Saharan Africa. If approved, the Cameroon-born virologist will be the first person of African origin to head the program. And then listen up, all the Winnie the Pooh fans. You may now be able to rent Winnie the Pooh's replicated treehouse. Winnie the Pooh said, sometimes the smallest things take up the most room in your heart, and nowhere is that more true than the aptly named Bear B&B that bears his name. Now, it's tucked away in a lush corner of the Sussex countryside in the UK that inspired A.A. Milner's original 100-acre wood. Pooh's trademark treehouse has been lovingly replicated and is set to host in its inaugural guest as part of a Disney celebration marking the beloved bear's 95th anniversary. The Bear B&B is a unique experience that brings the charm of Pooh to life for fans that have been so important to many people for 95 years. During visits, Pooh lovers receive a guided tour of the original 100-acre wood, play Pooh sticks on the iconic Pooh Sticks Bridge, and enjoy locally sourced honey-inspired meals, while even for a silly old bear, that seems fair enough. On that note, that is where I wrap up your 7 o'clock news headlines. Riley standing by with a look at the weather.
Thank you so much, Jamie. Now to look at the weather and, of course, our international fronts, we've got Ugandan environmentalist and activist Vanessa Nakate, who has delivered a powerful speech at the Youth for Climate event in the Italian city of Milan. Now, she told delegates that world leaders were lost and the planet had been damaged, and reiterated that Africa pollutes little but suffers a lot from the climate crisis. And Nakate also asked who was going to pay for the environmental destruction. And the Swedish climate activist Greta Thunberg also spoke and accused world leaders of words that sound great but lead to no action. She ended her speech by leading chants of "What do we want? Climate justice. When do we want it? Now." Nearly 400 young people taking part in the meeting will send ideas to the vetted by climate and energy ministers also meeting in Milan. And the best ideas will go to the COP26 summit in Glasgow, Scotland next month. And scientists say people aged under 40 face an unprecedented life threatened by heat waves, floods, and crop failures. But now moving from important climate news to some lighter views as we check out some of the sunrise photos shared with us on the Expresso Facebook page. And kicking us off is Alna Human from the caption, well, with this caption, "Look at this beautiful sunrise coming up over Platteberg in Harrismith." Oh, Absolutely beautiful indeed. And then Marius Wessels from Joburg captured the stunning sunrise over the city with his drone 50 meters up in the air after the first overnight rains of spring 2021. Stepping the bar up using drones. Mzansi, anything that you have to capture the beauty around you, please send it through to us because, of course, we absolutely love it. And look how it puts a smile on everybody's face out here. But now to look at the rest of the temperatures across the country. Starting off in Polokwane, you've got a low of 15 and a high of 29 degrees. In Mbombela, your day starts at 15, moving up to 27 with a 25% chance of cloud cover and maybe rain. In Pretoria, you've got thunder showers expected with a low of 16 and a high of 32. In Johannesburg, your day starts at 13, moving up to 29 degrees. And then in Mahikeng, your day starts at 16, moving up to 32 degrees. Moving over to Klerksdorp, your day starts at 15, moving up to 30 degrees Celsius with 25% chance of cloud cover. And then in Kimberley, rain can definitely be expected with a low of 14 and a high of 26 degrees. More rain coming through for Bloemfontein too, with a high of 24, low of 11 with 43% chance of rain. Richards Bay, very similar, rain expected at 64%, a minimum of 17, moving up to a max of 22 degrees. And Pietermaritzburg continuing with the rainy days, 86% chance with a minimum of 13 and a high of 18 degrees. In Durban, the rain continues with a low of 18, a maximum of only 20 degrees. And then in Mthatha, very similar conditions, a low of 12 and a high of 15 degrees Celsius with 71% chance of rain. And then in East London, a low of 12 and a high of 17 degrees. Rain also expected there. In Craddock, a low of 10 and a high of 16 degrees, with again, lots of rain to come. In Mabega, rain also to be expected with a minimum of 13 and a high of 17 degrees. In George, your day starts at 11, moving up to 16. And again, rain expected for your parts of the area. And then moving down to Cape Town, where the rain seems to be at bay for now, a minimum of 14 and a high of 18 degrees. In Worcester, your day starts at 10, moving up to 20 degrees Celsius. In Sutherland, a chilly 5 degrees to start your day, moving up to 15 degrees Celsius. And then last but not least, Uppington's day starts at 12, moving up to 29, with predominantly sunny skies expected for the day. Now, we've got some entertainment lined up for you. We're chatting about kids, but no longer are they kids. They are absolute talents. And G's here to find out more about our entertainers for the day. Let's check it out.
The enigma that is our entertainment this morning, so interesting. This music project is the best way to describe it, titled Face and the Features, is the solo endeavor of one Tristan de Beer, who is the face, and then his musical peers, as amazing as they are, who accompany him, are the features, giving us a scope of music that is crafted through the lens of alternative and possibly psychedelic pop, a little bit of soft rock. We love the full view of great music that is offered, and I've had just a taste from the sound check, and it's going to take you on a journey this morning. And before we get to know him, let's get a little taste. Let's listen in on some of his 2018 single titled Around You. Take a listen.
Don't say another word, I'm too distracted, but you don't seem too perturbed by the way I've acted around you. I want to be around you.
Quite literally, Face and the Features right there. Absolutely love it. Let's give a very warm welcome to Face and the Features. Welcome to your Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Thank you very much.
I wish we were an audience of 1,000 people,
I know,
man.
right?
I wish we were. Tristan, welcome to the show.
Thanks.
So good to have you here, and to hear you in the pocket. Listening to you sound check this morning, you get straight into that groove. How would you describe your music?
Oh man, it's me. Ultimately, I think that's honestly
Me
like
professionally.
unfortunate. It's the least descriptive thing I can say, but it's the most accurate thing I can say. I draw from a lot of different places, so I guess what goes in comes out in whatever way it does. Yeah.
There's something beautiful and deeply personal and emotive, which is, I think, the first anchor that we need in this kind of music. But there's something about the way that you choose to present your artistry in the way that you work. So explain to me how you operate in terms of you being the face, and then you bring in the features, your incredibly talented musical peers. How does your musical approach work?
So I take a very all-round approach. I'm a musician, a producer. I compose and arrange most of my own songs, and at the moment I'm like mixing them and doing the full production run. But yeah, so I pretty much write, record, produce, arrange all the songs, and then I take them to my friends, and they sort of elaborate on them a little bit, and then they're sort of a work in progress, sort of like a puzzle that's being built over time.
I love that, and a beautiful collaborative opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think you learn so much more about yourself when you give a freedom to another artist to help influence you in that space.
Definitely.
But there always seems to be kind of a common theme or a drive. If I'll take you back to your first EP, A Dream is a Wish, which was very much psychology, dreams, romanticism. How do you go about, does it come to you in a dream? Is there a moment where you're like, okay, this is what I'm feeling or where I am, or does it just play out through the creative process?
I would say a bit of both. It's definitely a journey. I mean, A Dream is a Wish alone is from the Disney song, A Dream is a Wish Your Heart Makes. So it's all very like being guided by something, and sometimes something calls you and you just have to follow and believe in that thing, and eventually you'll get there.
I love that. So Strange, what's the vibe there?
So Strange is my upcoming EP. It's coming up at the end of the year. And that was a bit of an exploration of like science fiction and sort of supernatural elements, but it happened more spontaneously. It was
after a few months of lockdown, your mind just started to like
well,
go
I mean,
there.
2020 was strange. So yeah, the songs sort of just emerged. It wasn't necessarily like themed overall. They just happened to come out that way.
It's organic. Yeah, I love that, man. I can't wait for people to actually hear you and get a taste, because it's easy listening, but there's like a deep emotional undercurrent as well. You feel the music as much as you hear it, which is a beautiful thing and quite a nuanced thing to get right, especially at 6:30 in the morning. Must Be Dreaming officially releases on Friday, as I understand it. Now, I've never ever used these words to describe a song. Funky lunar party atmosphere.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was going for, 100%. That's exactly what I was aiming for. That song was written just about having the best possible time you could with your friends, your family, at a party, at a gathering, whatever. Like,
and it
that
must
was
be on
sort
the
of
moon,
the
man.
context. Yeah. And while I mean the idea is that the song is a dream, must be dreaming. So it's like there's always this sort of tragic tinge to those really meaningful, heartfelt experiences where they do have to end inevitably. Yeah. And so they are kind of like dreams in that sense, but you always go back to them. You always have those experiences.
You go to sleep tomorrow night and you repeat.
100%.
You repeat. I absolutely love it. I cannot wait for our viewers to listen to you, to see you guys perform. You've brought one of your peers with you this morning, who was dancing to your own track there just now, and that's how you're going to feel this morning. Face and the Features are going to take you on a journey with 3 incredible performances, all lined up, not for me, for you. So keep it locked right here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Simple as CBD should be. welcome back, everybody. Yes, your eyes are not deceiving you. Mr. JP Sebastian is back, everybody! And he's wearing proper pants.
You reached down under the table like there was a gift down there. I mean, sure, some of us are gifted, but that was a terrible start to the morning. Hello, everyone.
We've missed you. We've missed you like in studio.
Missed incriminating myself publicly like this too, by saying random nonsense.
Well,
let's talk about movies. Why not?
Let's talk about movies because you're here to tell us about the latest movie trailers.
Yeah.
The first one is The Humans.
Yeah, and so this is just stuff
Yeah,
that, but you know, like a lot of us are sort of rediscovering ourselves, and this is part of what that movie is about. Was a play originally. You mentioned the director earlier, Stephen Karam. He was the playwright and also the director for several Broadway performances. So, you know, pretty highbrow kind of stuff. Helps enough to have names like Richard Jenkins, who is just a remarkable human being. You might not recognize, I mean, you might recognize his face. Shape of Water was the last thing I think most people find him memorable for. What you're listening to, if you can, in between, doesn't matter if you can't, because I want you to go watch his trailer independently, irrespective, is Stephen Yeun very funnily at the start talking about, I don't know how people can watch this new zombie TV show. It's just gross. He's like complaining about his zombie show at the start of the trailer for The Humans. Stephen
But he's in
The
Walking Dead.
So yes, having a little jokey there. And the lady who you love dearly, a stand-up comedian obviously, and a bunch of other movies of her own, but she seems to be making this launch, like a lot of comedians do at some point, into the more dramatic stuff. Now, it's not heavy necessarily. The play itself is mostly just conversations, two people across the table, like you and I. But it's dealing with the stuff that humans are dealing with on a daily basis. You've got three generations. You've got grandmother, you've got parents, and you've got daughter whose home they've gone to for Thanksgiving dinner. And they're thrashing out that one wants to make an announcement of this. You know how these family dinners are? Everyone's got an announcement, whether happy or sad. Someone's got beef to like shake out. There's
always drama. There's always drama
whatever,
at the table.
And more than ever, I think, you know, since lockdown, since not seeing other human beings, I think something like this could really, you know, reach out and touch us, because everyone's going through stuff. Absolutely everyone you know is going through something. Look how cleverly filmed this is. I mean, for a stage play especially, how do you make that leap, that transition from the stage to the screen? There are a lot of these strange shots from where it's shot from the dining room, but it's actually the scene is playing out in the living room or whatever. So to further alienate the feeling of humans being these weirdos on Earth, which we all are. A lot of the camera work seems like it works out very well. Stephen Karam looks like he makes a great transition from stage to screen. There's no date for it in essay just yet, but truly something I think to warm the heart, especially with what a lot of us are going through. And maybe during festive season, we all have announcements like, hey, baby on the way, or something like that.
Do you want to say anything? Now's your time? Like now's your time to shine? You say too much. Maybe let's talk about things that you can speak about at the Spencer. It's another movie trailer.
Really popular. And oh man, I'm going to gush about this poster again. Look how beautiful this is. This is one of the most beautiful posters I've ever seen. Lady Diana weeping into a wedding dress, the void hanging over her, the pitch black oppressive force. Which, there's a lot to be said about that. I think that the royal family might not be happy about this movie at all. It looks like it really pokes barbs and jabs. We'll find out soon enough in a story that is a fictionalized account of her holiday at Sandringham House, which is the Queen's holiday house thing, I suppose, for is this Christmas dinner? Who knows? We'll find out when the movie comes out 17th of December in South Africa. I know that we spoke about this very recently. It was as little as a month ago. But they released a second trailer. I don't know why I gave you that sassy but they seem really, really psyched about the critical acclaim that they've gotten for this movie. You look very psyched about something.
Kristen Stewart.
Is incredible.
Wow, I didn't even recognize her.
Yes,
indeed. This is phenomenal. I can't wait to see her play Diana.
People might recognize her more readily from Twilight, etc. But she's done a couple of artistic movies now. I suppose Camp X-Ray comes to mind immediately. But so the first trailer was just the look. How much do we capture the look? Look, watch her act, please. Don't look at JP's face. How much do we actually seal the deal on that? But now they give her the voice as well. So this trailer has these horrifying lines of you have to. One character tells her you have to live two lives. The one that's the real you, and the one that is there for the cameras. So it's all about how the family basically treated her like a puppet on strings for the longest time, it seems. But like I said, fictionalized account of what went down. And right at the very end of the trailer, oh man, look at that. Every movement is like a ballet, because remember, Diana had this strange hide behind her shoulder type thing. And everything is considered. Kristen Stewart is, by every critic who has seen this so far at the Venice Film Festival, bound for Oscar glory, as far as they're concerned.
For sure.
Definitely hardware in the works there from the Academy. So like I said, 17th of December in South Africa. Looks like it's going to pull no punches on the royal family, which is probably high time, considering, other people divorcing themselves, Harry, etc., etc. And, oh man, I wonder how those boys would feel about this movie.
I wonder. But again, this is going to be next level. 17th of December, Spencer's coming out. Let us know what you think about that. But Kristen Stewart looks phenomenal.
You are floored
I can't
by
wait.
this, yeah.
I'm actually floored by this. I can't wait to see how she's
Please
gonna.
do yourself a favor, and South Africans, you too, watch the trailer and listen to her performance as well. Like I said, one of the smallest movements, I just look like a sleep when I do it. No, that's absolutely not what she was doing. I just did total disservice. I think the royal family want my hair on the block for what I just did. But do watch the trailer for yourself and see how she captures it brilliantly. But we'll see more in December.
Mzansi, I know you're happy, as I am, because he's back, but he has more movie trailers coming to you shortly, so don't go anywhere. But right now, it's back to the kitchen. What's cooking, guys?
Yep, new movies are great and always really exciting, especially when they look as good as those. But sometimes we just love a good classic. And if you're looking for a dish that is not only comfort food at its absolute finest, but also budget friendly, this will go a long way. Look no further than our classic mince and potato casserole. It ticks all of the flavor boxes and feeds a crowd, or in my case, a really hungry boy. I love it. Chef Chumi Chumi Chumi.
Yes,
it's
I
here.
love to feed you.
I was joking earlier that this might not be the most exciting meal we've ever made, okay? But this guy packs a punch, a flavor punch. But this is about taking some good quality ingredients and making them stretch further and making it a classic by adding just a few little elements here to zhuzh it up, if you will. So what's going down in our mince and potato casserole, and what do you need me to do?
Well, I need you to slice up some potatoes for us, because instead of using lasagna sheets and stuff like that, or pasta, we're going to be using our potatoes to layer up.
Nice. With the skin on?
With the skin on. And a lot of people ask me that a lot of times. And like, should I keep the skin on my potatoes?
Roughage, fiber,
exactly,
fiber.
Roughage, fiber, all the nutrients. There's a lot of nutrients in the skin.
Have these been par cooked or they're fresh? No,
as raw as they are. We love it as is. Now into my pan, I've got one pan going here. We're going to be frying up our mince up with some onion and some herbs. And then we're also going to be making a bechamel white sauce, cheese sauce type. It starts off as a white sauce. I add some cheese into that, and then it becomes a cheese sauce. That's literally how they differ.
Okay.
All right. So all I want to do here, I'm going to start with my onions, and like you mentioned, Graham, about packing the flavor into it. This is where you would be able to add all those veggies that you have in your fridge that are probably sitting there doing absolutely nothing.
And this is, it's all about, you know, we were joking about like how we are constantly trying to sneak vegetables into our children. We've got kids that are of a similar kind of age.
Yeah.
And it's amazing how they go through phases. 1 week, no, don't eat that. And I love something else.
Exactly.
But if you get like a week where they're enjoying cheese, boom, throw everything in this and they're going to love it. If they're liking mince, boom,
exactly,
throw everything in there and you're going to get that nutrients in. But it's also hearty. It's going to keep them fuller for longer, and you're getting a beautiful balance of kind of the veg and the protein with the mince.
Exactly. Now to make this kind of dish, I know a lot of people when they're making their white sauces, they like to add their spices at the end. What I like to do is I like to cook my spices before I add all the rest of the ingredients. So when I make my white sauce, I'll go in here. We've added our Clover Classic fat spread first, and then into that I'm going to add my nutmeg, because I also wanted to release a lot of its flavor. Yes, we've got some nutmeg. We've also got some pepper in here. You want to make sure that those flavors release, because we're layering up on the flavor. And if you want to add more a little later, you're more than welcome to.
I love that. Nutmeg's going to take this to a whole different flavor profile. I love it. So the Clover Classic fat spread is an ideal spread. Yes, we know that for every day, but with a touch of Clover cream that elevates it and certainly lends itself to something like this where we needed to add a creamier element and edge. You can spread, you can bake, you can cook, you can use it any way your family needs it and loves it. And I guarantee you, your family are going to love the taste of Clover Classic fat spread on any occasion. And it certainly adds a beautiful, buttery, creamy texture to what we're making here this morning. So what's gone into the
Right now, I'm starting the sauce here, and all I've done is, remember, I cooked down our spices, I cooked down our nutmeg, our pepper, and I've added the flour now. And then into this, I'm going to go with my milk. Now, this is where you start making, cooking down your sauce. You need to make sure you cook the flour out, otherwise it's going to have that floury flavor, and you don't want that. So you let it cook down. Once it's done doing that, this is where as well, if you wanted to make it a bit of a garlicky sauce, this is where you'd add your garlic as well before you add the liquid, because you also want it to cook down and release some of its flavor. And most people, when they make this sauce, they like to just chuck in all the milk at once. When you do that, you risk having those lumps in there. I say add it in a little at a time, make sure you work it in first, and then once you've done that, add the milk as you go. This also helps with making sure that your sauce doesn't get too runny, because with this kind of recipe, we want to make sure that our sauce is nice and thick. Well, since you've done so well, maybe you can then start layering up.
Okay, so we're going to have a layer of potato at the base.
Correct. One layer at the base, and then we start adding all the other ingredients here, which is going to be my mince that I'm going to add, as well as our sauce. Let me just...
I went basically as thick as my chubby fingers would allow me. I suppose it's going to cook a lot more easily the thinner you do it, so you don't want them to be too thick and chunky.
No, I would say thicker is better.
Really?
Because what happens is it also absorbs all the moisture should there be too much liquid released from the dish, but it also keeps it intact, because you don't want it falling apart when it comes out.
It's not a stew or a soup. We want it to have a bit of consistency.
Yeah,
okay,
you want structure in it. So let your potatoes be a little on the thicker side,
cool.
and then it helps keep it together so that when you slice into it, then you're able to see all those layers.
I'm just trying to stare at your sauce here. That's thickening up beautifully.
Thickening up beautifully. The mince is also cooking down. Once it's cooked, we're going to then start layering it up. Add our potatoes, our mince, the sauce. Potatoes, mince, sauce. On the very top, then we add our cheese, get that beautiful golden brown.
And then pop it into the oven. How does this need to cook? How long? How do we know it's ready? Because you've obviously par-cooked the mince already.
I would say give it about 35 to 40 minutes, because you want to make sure that it's fully cooked. But that's why we also started on the stove as well, to make sure that it's par-cooked, and then we're going to start layering it up.
And let those flavors infuse.
Correct.
This is a simple, easy way to take some staples in your own fridge, in your own kitchen, in your own pantry, and stretch them out a little bit further and turn them into a modern-day classic. Thanks to our Clover Classic Fat Spread. This really does elevate the entire recipe, and if you want to find it, you can find it on expressoshow.com.
So, we've had classic fashion from Timby, classic cars, thanks Chad, and we've seen classic hairstyles. And you, Michael? Classic!
A classic range from Clover. Timeless taste.
Made with love by Clover.
Oh, crisis. What am I gonna make? Okay. Cheese. All right. Tomato. Cheese. Okay. Bread. They're gonna be here in an hour, and I really don't know what I'm gonna make. Hectic. Ah, of course. Expresso comes in to save the day. That's the one.
In a pickle over what delicious meal to make next? Get inspired by the wide variety of mouth-watering recipes that you can follow along on our exclusive food YouTube channel or on our website, expressoshow.com.
Ah, perfect. Just in time. About time. Come on in, guys.
This looks good.
Oh, you know how I do, Lena.
Yes! Recap our recipes whenever, wherever with Expresso.
Welcome back. You are live with Expresso, and it's been a beautiful morning so far. So let's throw a cat amongst the pigeons and give you a conundrum, a would you rather, to get you thinking about your money. It is your money after all, and it's your story. And of course, maybe I think going to the movies and keeping it intimate is your kind of thing. Maybe when it's your time to party, you want to party and book out like the penthouse suite, an entire floor of a hotel, and just rage for 9 days. It's up to you. Today we're going to find out how you would like to celebrate in another round of Would You Rather. I feel like these are always a little backhanded and give us an impossible choice, or we've got to look really irresponsible with our money by the choices that we make. Maybe that's just us.
I want to say something, but I don't want to be responsible, so I don't maybe say it.
There is no right or wrong answer. I'm going to say that. There is no right or wrong answer. So I'm going to set the scenario, and love to hear what you guys think about this. So the scenario is this. It's your birthday, and you want to celebrate big. So would you rather, A, throw a massive party and invite everyone you know? Come on, the world's opening up. It's post-COVID. You haven't seen people in 18 months. Time to party hardy, yo. Even my voice is breaking like I had 20 tequilas last night. Or do you, B, rather treat yourself to something you've always wanted because you deserve it?
What if treating myself was a massive party where I let all my friends come over?
That's a tough one. Okay, so I'm going to put your head on the block here. Do you party hardy? Do you give yourself that thing that you've
It depends
earned?
What the party is for. So if it was my 30th, I would invite everyone. We'd live our best life. If it was like my 29th birthday, which is coming up in 2 months and 3 days, and then I will buy... then I'll buy something. I don't know. It's one of those... But I just want to party.
Because don't you feel like you want to see people?
I want to party.
I'd love to have a party with my mates.
Would you party?
Oh, man, I'm dying to
missing
party.
my mates, man.
I'm dying to just let loose, boogie down, throw those hips around, man. I don't know when last I've just let myself go in a party. Why are you laughing like that?
Because it's the hips for me. It's the hips for
That's how he's going to walk into the room. He's going to be doing his shimmy.
Like, I'm going to be honest. I know there isn't this option of C, but I would. I like to throw a little.
It's not how it works.
Let's change the rules here. What I would do is, honestly, right now, being COVID, I can't party. It's just not responsible.
Can't do it.
But I still want to go big and I still want to celebrate. I want to celebrate the loved ones I have in my life. So what I would actually do is I would treat my friends. Yeah, think about that. I'd give them something special. All of my friends are just on their own. Here's a little gift for you, something special.
Hello, best friend.
Yeah.
Some chutney and some nuts and
but
some
that is
collagen powder.
I think I had the money, though, to do that, right? So,
okay, collagen's a bit expensive. Sorry, I might have pushed the boat out.
But I think it's irresponsible to party right now, obviously. I think we've been through so much that you, Mzansi, need to treat yourself. I think
I kind of feel like you're giving me an answer that you think is going to keep you in the clear.
Yeah.
Let's see what the real intelligent people have to say. Let's see what our viewers have had to say, either option A or option B.
We've got Nulene Osborne who says, I would opt for a bit of both. Oh, okay, Nulene, so listen to me. I would have an intimate dinner with immediate family and spoil myself with what's left of the budget.
She's a queen.
Okay.
She is a queen. Ntobeleng says, treat myself to what I've always wanted. I find it difficult to even remember how to put one foot after another when I'm in a crowded space. True.
Agoraphobic. No, I've become fearful of wide open spaces. Yeah. I really have. It's like a thing. I think a lot of people are feeling that, man.
Yeah, I just do this.
Hey! I don't know what to do anymore. I feel you guys so much. But I mean, look, at the end of the day, your birthday is your day, and you should celebrate it how you want. So don't be tempted to go big and spend money you don't have just for the sake of it. And if you're going to the movies and that's your thing, then you'll be happy to know that from this Friday, the 1st of October, Nedbank will be offering all their cardholders 50% off on any 2D or 3D movies at New Metro. How cool is that?
You know that my son has never been to a movie.
No ways.
Well, now
he's too young before COVID hits, and
now's your chance, Chief.
30%
and on top
off,
of this,
baby.
Man, also get 50% off medium drinks and popcorn combos. And trust me, it doesn't get any better than that. So get booking. Gee, I mean, this is the perfect opportunity.
Hey, come on.
Oh, no.
Can I come too? Can I come too?
No.
Indulge your desires. Be swept away by the fragrance of dissent. Take the plunge into impulsive spending until you find yourself deeper and deeper, drowning in debt. In this world of temptation, do you want a bank that takes your money, or a bank that takes your money seriously?
absolutely love this Would You Rather, and I know one answer to the question of would you rather spend the morning with us or anyone else? The answer is right here, and let me tell you why. Because we're joined by the frontman of music, Project Face, and the features, and Tristan de Beer is here as our performer this morning, and his first song will be certainly having you feeling like magic has been cast right up upon you. So here he is with the track Under Your Spell. Take it away, gents.
And party in the street. Prepare your disguise, choose a fantasy. Tonight you get to live it out. Whoa, whoa, mythical, so divine, what a miracle. Your captivating smile, so subliminal. I've been staring for a while. Oh, whoa, whoa, my mistake. I was overwhelmed by the taste of true love. Oh well, one in heaven, one in hell. Can you tell I'm under your spell? I'm under your spell, baby. Baby, can't you tell I'm under your spell? Oh, I'm under your spell. I'm under your spell, baby. Baby, can't you tell I'm under your spell? It's so strange. I'm enchanted by you. It's so strange. And I don't know what to do. It's so strange. I'm enchanted by you, it's baby. So strange. And I don't know what to do. Trick or treat. Decisions terrify me, but we're in the heat of a chemical fire. Give me sympathy. Please don't read my mind. Whoa, 'cause in the end, the stars are gonna fall. Can we not pretend it's all over? Should we make amends and hope the sun rises again? Oh, my mistake. I was overwhelmed by the taste of true love. Oh well, one in heaven, one in hell. Can you tell I'm under your spell? I'm under your spell, baby. Baby, can't you tell I'm under your spell? I'm under your spell, baby. Oh, baby, can't you tell I'm under your spell? Give me some of your magic, yeah. I want some of your magic, your magic. Ooh, give me some of your magic, baby. Ooh, I want some of your magic, your magic.
I could not stop myself from dancing. I definitely felt like I was under your spell. And if you don't feel good after that, then you're not a human being. But I'm Zanzi, don't go anywhere because we are continuing the magic. That was just the beginning of Facing the Features, and we're getting some more of that entertainment in a bit. And don't go anywhere. Yeah.
The undefeated man is back. It is JP Sebastian with the latest movie trailers.
Woo!
I'm just gonna keep staring at you because it's nice to actually be able to see you in person.
You know, some people are forced to, like, you could literally, the world is your oyster. Look anywhere else, I promise.
But we want to look at you, JP.
Oh, that's so sweet of you guys.
You have 10 seconds to answer this. DC or Marvel?
Are they pharmaceutical companies? I don't know. What, like, the headache tablets, then, I don't know, aspirin usually for me.
I tried.
What are you talking about?
Everybody. I tried. We'll just choose between the two, but you can't do that.
Look, if I have to not be difficult, then it's definitely Marvel. Like, as
Done.
far as
Okay, that's it.
Okay,
Marvel.
sorry.
That's it. That's all we wanted to know. But now you can actually elaborate because you have movie trailers for us. The first one is The Blazing World.
Again, these are things that just titillated me over the past week, and just recently, don't do this when you're saying that word, jail. The Blazing World is directed by Carlson Young, stars Carlson Young, and written by Carlson Young. I suppose adapted from the book originally. But why I chose this one is it's just pure eye candy. It's really, you were surprised I used this word.
You said pretty.
It's pretty to look at, both of these movies. I barely use that word. But spared it for this one, obviously. And it is sort of a sci-fi horror, but don't worry, it's totally sanitized. There are horror elements in this trailer that you're watching right now. Reminds me a bit of Pan's Labyrinth. For those who know, Guillermo del Toro was one that put him on the map. But this one hopefully puts this young female director on the map too. Dermot Mulroney being a weirdo. This is a young lady who had a twin when she was Babaki. And the twin drowned tragically at the old family home, which she returns to. And she tries to figure out, well, what are these strange feelings I'm feeling? Why am I being drawn to this place? She finds there an alternate reality, naturally, as one does, and throws herself into the magical realm of the other side. Sort of Alice in Wonderland feelings, like I said, Pan's Labyrinth as well. There are lots of scenes in it that remind me, at least I've only seen the trailer, of like Alejandro Jodorowsky, sort of very strange, trippy, almost 70s psychedelic kind of stuff. Under the Skin, I'm also reminded of too. If you don't know what these movies are that I'm naming, you really need to be writing them down and watching them. Altopo from Jodorowsky, but hopefully her own thing is Udo Kier, a classic weirdo, returns, usually always employed to play Satan in any movie he's in. Don't know what his role will be in this, but he seems obviously like some sort of Mad Hatter type, drawing her further down the rabbit hole. But like I said, mostly just for the fact that it's really pretty to look at. No date for it in essay just yet, but I am thoroughly intrigued and always happy when a young director, especially a female director, gets to put her name on something, stamp her seal, in a style that seems totally her own, hopefully. We'll see.
Sure, this is someone's taste. This gives me the goosebumps, not something I would want to watch, but there's no essay dated. It's pretty. It's pretty visually, but it
reminds me of Terry Gilliam as well, Brazil. No, of course, it's meant to make you slightly curl a bit. Did you see Pan's Labyrinth? If you haven't, please, Asableef, do it. It's a beautiful, beautiful movie, and this definitely looks like it has some of the genetic sort of strain of that movie in it. But clearly, a person who's clearing out, marking out their own style and their own way of making movies, good future to Carlson Young, hopefully.
Well, we have another movie as well, which is The Electrical Life of Louis Wayne. And you were actually very surprised that I knew who Louis Wayne was because I Googled him. I Googled him. He's an artist, believe it or not.
I mean, no, strangely, most people won't even know who this guy is, but he's the guy who popularized cats. That seems like such a silly thing to say, but for real. In like 19th century England, cats were just seen as sort of a nuisance. And in his paintings, this poor guy, his paintings become really psychedelic, and they're not just a cushy sort of Trippy.
Trippy.
Oh.
Trippy.
Like
not
what?
trippy.
Okay, sure. Yeah, no dating essay just yet, but keep your eyes open if you like stuff like Remember Big Eyes with Amy Adams. Artist biopics are usually quite involved, quite interesting.
For sure. JP Sebastian, so good to have you with us again. We love connecting with you, but of course for you at home, if any of these movies have your name on it and you're dying to get back to the cinema, then now is your chance, because from Friday, the 1st of October, Nedbank is offering all of their cardholders 50% off any 2D or 3D movie tickets at a new Metro, and you will also get a 50% off a medium cool drink and popcorn combo. You can live your best life. Now, this is a massive saving and a feel-good treat for the family, so do it, and make sure to join us again on Friday when JP returns to get us all hyped up for the new James Bond, No Time to Die. Give us your best James Bond pose.
Okay, I'm going to do...
Why must you always go?
Ursula Andress, walking out of the ocean? No? Picture me in a white bikini. No? Please, no one do that.
No, yeah, I was just gonna like, no.
Respect yourselves.
Maybe Raul can give us his best James Bond pose.
You have to pull your lips like you were doing a Sean Connery shot.
Raul, this is ours. What is yours?
How you like that, huh? I tried, guys. I tried. Look, speaking of Bond, speaking of things that we love in this show, something that I absolutely love is the fact that we almost get to travel all around the world.
countries that you've been to apart from South Africa?
Belgium. I've been to
Belgium,
Belgium.
oh,
But
nice.
I'd like to go elsewhere again.
Yeah, Europe is beautiful. I've never been to the Americas. A place I'd absolutely love to go to, Brazil.
Please take me with you.
We can do that right now.
Okay.
Let's do it right now, right? So when you think of Brazil, what do you think of? I think of carnivals, music, soccer, all those awesome things come to mind. But did you know that Brazil is the world's largest producer of coffee? Yeah. Now, the country produces about 1/3 of all the coffee in the world. And today, Mzansi, as we always do, we take you all over the world. We are celebrating Brazil with Brazilian coffee by making an iced coffee inspired by the country's other famous drink, the caipirinha. Now, using Nespresso's Cafezinho do Brazil coffee, and this one is something I'm looking so forward to. How are we doing this, right? Obviously,
I'm way ahead of
I've
you.
got the coffee for you. I see, we can't stop dancing, yeah. That wasn't really Brazilian, but
Yeah,
let's just go with it. You see, we need to go there, clearly. But this is a beautiful one. I see we've got all the makings of a beautiful cocktail, it seems like it, yes?
sir.
But I'm talking about something called a Cafezinho, which I absolutely love. It's got this nice blend of bitterness, body acidity is quite low. The roasting is fairly high, and it's got that intensity of 9. So I think this is going to be perfect to pair with this citrus feels over here, right?
Yes.
So let me get that going for you. One espresso coming up. I've got the pot in here already. Let me just
And that's
tap
going
that
to be
button.
perfect because we've got the molasses that I've just put into this beautiful shaker, and you were doing that James Bond, and I
Yeah.
think it's shaken, not stirred. So you're
Not
going to...
stirred. I am. I forgot to put the machine on, silly me, but don't worry. It's as simple as 2 seconds. Put it on, pop the espresso, and voila, here comes the good stuff. Look at that golden
So
nectar
what we
coming
want
out of
is,
there.
I've got molasses in here, and the reason I'm waiting for the coffee is because we want to make sure we add it in first before we add everything else, because we want it to sort of dissolve the molasses, get that beautiful sweet flavor from it, and then when we add everything else and we shake it together, then they come together.
I've never made anything with molasses. It's quite interesting. Okay, so we're putting in this beautiful drink, and if you smell that, it's just absolute magic. How's that for you?
It's like Brazil. Take me to Brazil.
Does it? Am I popping it in here?
Yes, sir.
There we go. All right. So you've got the molasses in there already because you wanted that to mix up first,
Correct.
right? If you didn't, what would happen? Kind of get like little lumpy molasses pieces or something crazy like that?
Yes, because we're going to be adding the lime, ice blocks in there. So if you do that, whenever you add ice blocks with lemon,
You almost
with
get it to like crystallize if it's too cold.
Honey molasses, you need to make sure that you dissolve before you add all the other ingredients. And into this, we're going in with some of our lemon juice or lime juice in this instance.
Okay.
Lime juice tends to be a little on the more acidic side compared to lemons. So we're doing that because it pairs actually perfectly with our cafezinho.
All right.
And then, sir, you're going to do the honors because we spoke about shaken, not stirred.
Shaken, not stirred. All right, I got
do
you.
us the honors.
Let me show you the shaken, not stirred way. And of course, while I'm doing this, we used an Espresso Cafezinho do Brazil capsule. It's made with Arabica beans from Minas Gerais and Espírito Santo regions, and full-bodied with high roastiness, bitterness, low acidity, and the profile is intense sandalwood, walnut, and aromatic herbs. How do you like that? Chumi, huh?
This is quite a performance.
I've just never done this before, and I always feel like, you know how the O's is like...
Yeah, you've got the
shaken,
guns
not
for it.
stirred. How you
You've got
like
the
that,
guns
huh?
for it.
I think this is shaken up well enough. Let me open that up and, ooh.
See how our baby looks.
nice.
You definitely shook it up real well.
Oh, that smells so good.
I know, right?
I thought
could
there would
smell
be a conflict of interest when it comes to the flavor here, but
Monande
while I
only.
just pour that out, just look at this golden nectar coming through here. It smells so good. The acidity, I think, is now being paired so well. That lemon is just kind of bringing it together. The lime, I think, on the top of this is going to be perfect. And voila,
Take a
how
squeeze,
awesome
let me
is
know
that?
what you think.
Let me do that indeed, all right?
Try,
Zanzi,
let
the
me
proof
know.
is, of course, in the, call this a dessert or a pudding.
In the mocktail.
Ooh! She's gonna be jealous.
Caipirinha.
I'm into Brazil, feeling the fiesta, and of course, you guys can get your hands on this absolutely delicious recipe. Visit expressoshow.com and enjoy. Woo! Nice, man. I love it.
With every cup, we cultivate some of the finest coffee in the world, celebrating farmers as artists, elevating every coffee moment. Because with every cup, precious coffee preserves the beauty of our world. Nespresso. What else?
welcome back. You're live on Expresso. I can't believe the show is flying by, but we're going to savor every last second that we can with these amazing individuals. Face and the features are going to transport you. That's the only way to describe it, with another performance in just a moment. But first, let's get into those news headlines one last time.
Thank you so much, G. And I'll start with those national news headlines. The National Sea Rescue Institute has appealed to the public to be careful of seals, particularly leopard seals, after 3 spearfishers were attacked by a leopard seal in False Bay. The fishermen were attacked about 400 meters from the beach near Miller's Point. The seals snapped and broke off their flippers, disarmed them of their spear guns, and caused serious bites, puncture wounds, and soft tissue injuries. They fought for over half an hour before finally reaching the shore. It remains unknown what caused the aggressive encounter. And then South African Airways and Kenya Airways are looking to create a Pan-African airline group and have signed a memorandum of cooperation. One of the main objectives of the memorandum is to enhance the growth potential of the 2 airlines on the African continent. Travel and airlines have been battered by the coronavirus pandemic, and this collaboration is set to revive business. The agreement will not prevent the airlines from partnering with other carriers. On the international front, the Nigerian government says it has suspended the passports of more than 2,000 Nigerians accused of violating COVID prevention protocols after returning from abroad. The passports would remain suspended for a year. As the country anticipates a 3rd wave of infections, Nigeria has strengthened its surveillance system at airports, seaports, and land borders. People arriving from countries such as India, South Africa, Brazil, and Turkey are expected to be in quarantine for 14 days at a government-approved facility. And then North Korea launched a short-range missile towards the sea off its east coast early yesterday. This was confirmed by South Korea's military. The test occurred as North Korea's ambassador told the UN that no one could deny Pyongyang's right to self-defense. Earlier this month, Pyongyang test-fired both ballistic and cruise missiles. The US military said it was aware of the launch, but said it posed no immediate threat. However, the US Indo-Pacific Command said that the launch, and I quote, highlighted the destabilizing impact of North Korea's illicit weapons program. And then finally, the elusive Rooikat comes to Kirstenbosch National Botanical Gardens. Staff members of world-famous Kirstenbosch Botanical Gardens in Cape Town are over the moon with excitement as 2 caracal kittens have been spotted there. They say their mother may have decided that Kirstenbosch is a safe place to leave her kittens, and they'd very much like everyone to help keep it that way. Mother caracals raise their kittens alone and often have to leave their young for periods while they hunt. Considering how reclusive this species is, seeing the kittens is an absolute treat. But people are urged to remain respectful of their space, to remain at least 25 meters away, and to keep as quiet as possible. The caracal is commonly known in South Africa as a Rooikat. It's a medium-sized wildcat characterized by a robust build, long legs, long tufted ears, and long canine teeth. It's highly secretive, territorial, and lives mainly alone. So why not pay a visit to Kirstenbosch? And who knows, you may just be lucky enough to catch a glimpse of one. On that note, that is where I wrap up your news headlines here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. G is standing by with a final look at the sports.
Thank you so much, Jamie. Let's start with rugby. One more test ahead of the Springboks in the Rugby Championship, and Springbok coach Jacques Niraba has made 2 injury-enforced changes to the matchday squad for their final Rugby Championship clash, of course, up against the All Blacks, who have taken the tournament, with Oxen Chair earning a starting berth, and then Jasper Visser also being drafted in amongst the replacements on the bench. So Chair will start at loose head prop, with Trevor Nyakane now switching to tight head. That was after Frans Malherbe was ruled out due to a neck niggle. Then Visser takes over from Marco van Staden because of that shoulder injury he suffered in the latter stages of last weekend's narrow 19-17 defeat to the All Blacks. Sadly, Cheslin Colby is still ruled out due to that leg injury, but a major milestone for Siya Kolisi. He'll be playing his 30th test match as captain of the Boks, and that means he will now surpass Francois Pienaar to become the 4th most capped Springbok captain. Incredible feat. And staying with our national sporting news, Banyana Banyana, they started their COSAFA Cup title defence on a positive note by beating Malawi 2-1 at the Nelson Mandela Bay Stadium. So a pretty new look and youthful Banyana. Were not maybe at their vintage self, but they still looked pretty strong, and they took the lead as early as the inside the first 2 minutes, in fact. Malawian goalkeeper Samir Amidou came off her goal line, leaving the post wide open, and Melinda Khadieta, she capitalised, making no mistake. So she slotted in to that empty net. Then Nokolo Sesane's deflected shot extended the lead for Desiree Ellis' side just before the stroke of half-time. And Wezi Mvula did pull one back for the visitors at the death, but Banyana get the win, and they move on to their next match, which is up against Angola, and that's coming up this Friday. And staying with footballing news, but off the pitch, UEFA is dropping its disciplinary case against Real Madrid, Barcelona and Juventus over their involvement in the controversial and now defunct European Super League. So European football's governing body said that, and we quote, "The proceedings are null and void, as if the proceedings had never been opened." The clubs were among the 12 founding members of the Breakaway League, which later collapsed, and the trio have since refused to renounce the project and were being investigated for a, again I quote, "potential violation of UEFA's legal framework." The move comes after a court in Madrid ruled that UEFA should not punish the 3 remaining clubs. Then plenty of local cricketing action to soak up at the moment. Pool B action in the CSA T20 knockout got underway with a doubleheader as KZN's Inland, they faced the Mpumalanga Rhinos, and then the Titans clashed with the Knights in a battle royale. So the Rhinos won the toss and elected to bat first. They were restricted to 112 for 8, with Ruben Herman top scoring with 32 runs, and then Gareth Dukes and Kyle Nipper taking 2 wickets apiece. Then in response, Cameron Delport was on form. He hit an unbeaten 72 to guide his team to an emphatic 7-wicket win. Then that second match of the day was between the 2 favourites, I think, the Knights winning the toss there and choosing to field first, and the Free State side restricting their opponents to 143 for 8, as Miguel Pretorius took 3 for 21 in a brilliant bowling display. Then Riley Rousseau, he was also on form, scoring 73 not out to see his team over the line with 8 wickets still left in the bag. Well, that's where we leave our sporting headlines for this Wednesday morning. Let's get the last weather update under the belt and see what the temperatures have in store.
Thank you so much, G. Now, to start off the last of our weather report this morning, and a warning for you, Mzansi, as we look out for you, as the SA Weather Service has warned of a significant change in weather which could see localized flooding in parts of the Free State, Eastern Cape and KwaZulu-Natal today and tomorrow. Now, the areas said to be affected by minor localized flooding include Thabo Mafutshane municipality and the eastern areas of the Garib district municipalities of the Free State, Alfred and Nzo, OR Tambo, Jogabi and Chris Hani district municipalities of the Eastern Cape, and in places over the southern parts of KwaZulu-Natal, such as eThekwini Metro, Ugu, Harigwala and Umgungundlovu, and Ilembe district municipalities today and tomorrow. Now, strong winds are also expected to accompany the change over the central areas of the country, including the northern Free State, northwest and eastern areas of the Northern Cape. Now, the eastern half of the Northern Cape, as well as the western half of both the Free State and northwest provinces, can expect severe thunderstorms with hail and strong, damaging winds tomorrow afternoon. Now, we move on from stormy forecast to appreciating the stunning sunrise images we received before the wet weather started rolling in. And Alton Pizarro Klolinski from Klerksdorp Dam started us off with this morning, and a beautiful and peaceful view overlooking the dam while fishing as the sun comes up. Oh, what a beautiful start to the day. And then Sharina Picken from Arniston shared this bright shot overlooking a calm ocean as the day begins just after sunrise. And then at 7 a.m., Alna Human, who shared this breathtaking shot, and also included the caption, "Look at this beautiful sunrise coming up over Plattsburgh in Harrismith." Ah, beautiful indeed. And last but not least on our list is Marius Wessels from Joburg, who captured this absolutely stunning sunrise over the city with his drone 50 meters up in the air after the first overnight rains of spring 2021. And as always, it doesn't matter what camera you have in your hand, as long as we can see how you start your day, Mzansi. Share it with us, because it puts puts a smile on our dial, and we appreciate it, as well as you sharing it with the rest of the world. But now, to take a look at the rest of the temperatures across the country, starting off in Polokwane, your low is 15 and you've got a high of 29 degrees. And in Mbombela, your day starts at 15, moving up to 27 degrees. In Pretoria, thunder showers can be expected with a minimum of 16 and maximum of 32 degrees. Joburg, you can expect a low of 13 and a high of 29. In Mahikeng, your day starts at 16, moving up to 32 degree maximum. In Klerksdorp, the day starts at 15, moving up to 30 degrees with 25% chance of cloud cover. And then in Kimberley, more rain expected in this part of the world with a low of 14 and a high of 26. Bloemfontein keeps the rain going with 11 at your minimum and a high of 24. And in Richards Bay, the rain continues, 64% chance, a 17 low and a high of 22. In Pietermaritzburg, 86% chance of rain with a minimum of 13 and a high of 18 degrees. In Durban, you've also got some rain coming your way. 18 is your low with a maximum of 20 degrees. In Mthatha, the rain continues too. Of course, we have put that warning out, a low of 12 and a high of 15 degrees. East London, very similar, a low of 12, a high of 17 with some rain expected there. In Cradock, the rain continues. 10 is your low with a high of 16 degrees. And in Berga, 56% chance of rain, a minimum of 13 and a max of 17 degrees Celsius. And then moving to George, 70% chance of rain. 11 is your low with a high of 16 degrees. And surprisingly, Cape Town doesn't get that much rain. 1% chance of cloud cover with a minimum of 14 and a high of 18 degrees. In Worcester, 25% cloud cover with 10 is your low and a 20 maximum degree Celsius coverage there for the day. In Sutherland, your day starts at a chilly 5 degrees, moving up to a 15 degree maximum. And last but not least, Uppington, your day starts at 12, moving up to 29 degrees Celsius. That was a final look at our weather. Again, thank you so much for sending in those beautiful pictures. Of course, we're asking you the question, and we need to settle this once and for all. Marvel versus DC, what's your choice?
I feel like this is quite divisive. Yes. I didn't hear your answer earlier, but we put it to the people. Is it Marvel? Is it DC? Simple as that. I feel like we're poking the bee's nest here.
Yes.
Who did you say?
I tentatively might have said Marcy.
Marcy-verse. Because, do you know where it always comes back to the fact that
Yes.
Superman is the strongest?
Which presents its own complications.
Yeah, so that's a whole different thing.
I don't know what bow and arrow guy does in that situation. I've angered like 5,000 people just saying that.
Exactly. But it's about what appeals to you. So there is no right or wrong, but we want to know who is the best superheroes. DC Comics or Marvel? Let's see. Karen's saying Marvel. My son drew the side. Oh, that's cool. Hey, Spider-Man coming in there. Very cool.
Fascinating.
Hey, that's pretty well drawn as well. Absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
Divan Fiat saying, my favorite superhero will always be Superman. If we look at the feature films, Marvel takes the lead in this round with their origin stories and larger ensemble team movies. DC has better series, though.
You have to read this like a villain, I think.
Yeah.
If we look at it, the feature films, Marvel has the lead this time around.
The Arrow, The Flash, Supergirl, Legends of Tomorrow, Stargirl, Batman, and my new favorite, Superman and Lois. I've always had a soft spot for Superman, but I also love Gothic. I love Batman.
But you were just mentioning to me now, there's a whole world, and movie studios are obviously going to be mining this at some point, of other comics aside from those two.
Yeah, man. You've got the Image, your Top Count, you've got all these indies.
I think you get your Lobo movie at some point. Man, I just can't wait for Blade.
100%, man. So like I said, there is no right or wrong answer. We love the fact that we are still into our comics, and obviously we've been celebrating Kwezi, a locally made comic, absolutely brilliant. I got to interview...
Looks really good, yeah.
Luiso gave me a whole lot of copies for myself, limited edition prints, absolutely beautiful. It doesn't matter where your allegiances lie, but we want to know. We want to definitively know. Is it DC? Is it Marvel? Who has the best superheroes? Let us know.
Just have fun with it is the most important thing.
Superman is...
welcome back, everybody. We're back in the kitchen, and it's all about the budget. Now, a healthy and a hearty meat-free comfort dish doesn't have to cost a lot of money. Our creamy red lentil dal curry is an easy-to-make, delicious dinner that can be served with rice, or as we are doing today, crispy baked jacket potatoes to take your curry game to the next level. It smells, again, so good. So good.
I see you. You're doing well. You're doing well.
The spices, the flavor.
And that's them not even in the pot. And now to make it, we've got simple ingredients here. I've got some onion. I'm going to start frying up some curry leaves as well. I know most people, when they make such dishes, they want to add the stuff at a later stage. But I like to fry them up because, one, it releases the flavor. But then, two, it also releases the oils in the actual ingredient, allowing it to coat whatever recipe. Infuse even better into the recipe you're making. I've also got some cumin seeds, add some coriander seeds, or as people would say, some jeera, as well as some dhania seeds going in there. And we're going to fry it up nicely because we want to release all those beautiful flavors. And then I'm also adding some dried chilies. And I've been taught that you decide how hot you want your curry or your dal to be. It's completely up to you. I don't know how hot you want it, Mama.
When I was in Durban 2 weeks ago, they served us curry, and then they put chilies on the side as well. The curry was hot. And they said, no, but you have to try Durban this way. You have to eat the chilies on the side too. I was like,
I love my
It was good. It was great, but I was sweating off. It's like, I'm going to try it.
I can imagine.
It's good. Yeah,
and
the
you know
chili is good.
what I also love about this recipe is that it's not only simple and easy, but it also is vegetarian to the point of being vegan, because there's nothing, no animal product is here at all. So you can, if you are looking to omit and just be meat-free, like completely meat-free, this is perfect.
The way to go. Because it's yummy.
It's yummy and it packs so much flavor. And then a lot of people are looking at, I'm trying to get nutrients. I want to make sure I get as much of my nutrients. Lentils, perfect fiber, perfect protein as well. So you can definitely add them in there. I've added all my spices, and you can hear them popping. And now's the time for the lentils, because most people don't know that when we talk about dal, it's not necessarily the cooked dish. In loosely explained, it's like the split. In essence, to split. That's what we're talking about. So it's split peas, split lentils, split beans.
And it's not dal as in D-U-L-L, it's D-H-A-L, everybody.
Correct.
Just to let you know.
Thank you. Thank you for letting us know.
For the English. I'm teaching the English today.
And now the most important part, because we need to make sure that we cook this dish down and we make sure it releases all that flavor. That's where our Good Hope soy comes in.
Gonna be so good?
Go soy good, girl.
And if you don't know what it is a dairy-free, and it's great for drinking, as is baking and cooking like we're doing with this recipe today. It's also preservative-free as well as a source of protein, so ticking off all those boxes, and has good nutritional value. But Clover Good Hope soy milk is also high in omega-3 and low in sodium, so you're getting all those nutritional benefits. But like Chef Tumi said, red lentils is also a great source of plant-based protein and also helps to support heart health. So it's ticking off all those nutritional benefits, ticking off all the boxes.
All the boxes. And now, depending on how thick or runny you want your dal to be, you can then add more or less of our Good Hope soy. You can either add it more if you want it to be more of a runny, soupy consistency. But if you want it like how we've got it here, you literally just want it to cover the split, the lentils, and then it's going to cook down and thicken up and give you that beautiful mixture that you've got right there. I do not.
Okay, so our beautiful pocket potatoes. I said it right? Pocket potatoes?
Jacket potatoes.
Jacket potatoes, we're fine. Let's just say jacket potatoes. I love these. Usually I'll put like some cream cheese and just some bacon in yana and some like a smorky, but this is beautiful. I usually make it in the microwave, which is, I know, probably a bad thing to do, but you bake these.
It's allowed. It's allowed.
It's allowed.
I mean, convenience is what it's all about, right? But I would always suggest you can do it in the oven, and when you do, don't poke with a fork. People think that that's the best way to do it because you want it to cook.
So how would you do it?
Don't do it, because what that does, it ensures that it cooks in the skin, the potato skin itself, and keeps it nice and structured and tasty and fluffy. Whereas if you do poke, it's gonna still be nice, but I like to keep it nice and
keep the juices in.
Keep the juices in
so when
there.
it does eventually, you have this, and then obviously you're gonna put your beautiful dal, your red lentil dal curry on the top. I don't have a spoon right now, but
spatula.
Yeah,
Spatula.
The spatula, and we'll just fill it.
Spoon it nicely on top there. And that's a meal on its own. That is so filling because you've got the fiber coming from the potatoes, you've got the fiber and the protein coming from the lentils. Not only is it delicious, but it's also very filling. So you know that even though you're going meat-free, you still are going to get all the filling up in your tummy.
This is beautiful. This I would serve for dinner. I'll serve it for a lunch. You can just pop it into a snack box. Expressoshow.com. I know you want to know where you can find your hands on the recipe. It is on expressoshow.com. I mean, now that dinner is served, it's time for some music.
Soy goodness from nature. Source of plant protein. Naturally cholesterol-free, lactose-free. Made with love by Clover.
All right, we're back on the Expresso stage with the ethereal, dreamlike music project that is Face and the Features. They've treated us to one amazing performance. And the next song that they're going to be doing is there to remind us to take a moment to breathe when it all gets too much. That's basically the last 18 months that we've lived through. And they are back now with a track from the 2019 EP titled A Dream is a Wish. This one is called Still.
Always running, baby, don't forget to breathe. Spend a moment with the breeze, thinking, always thinking. Scattered thoughts fly through my mind. A sense of presence hard to find. Let it go. Let's be still. Let's slow down. Oh, step away from the world for today. Let's be still. Let's be still. Let's be still. Let's be still. Fighting. Why are we always fighting? Always fighting. I don't wanna do this no more. Too kind. No. I don't understand. Always hungry for the upper hand. Wanting. Ooh, I just can't get enough. Wanting. And I want it all for myself. It all. I want it all. Just I want it all. I want it all. Give me more. I want it all. Oh. Ooh, let's be still. Let's slow down. Oh, yeah, yeah. Step away
let's be still. Just take a moment to breathe. Still is available for download, I'm hoping, on all major music platforms. Support the vocals of the locals. These guys have taken us on a journey and they are not done yet. Face and the Features have one more performance just for you. Don't stray too far.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back, everybody. This is your Feel Good Breakfast Show on Wednesday morning. What a morning. It's been a vibe.
It's been great, but we've been stuck in studio. Let's get outdoors. It's a beautiful change of season. Let's get into some al fresco dining.
Oh, thank you, Jamie and Graham. And of course, I know you're feeling jealous because look at me right now, celebrating and enjoying this beautiful day we've got out here. It reminds you of summer, and it's been a long one indeed, and it reminds you of the opportunity to take advantage of this good weather. Whether it's a picnic, whether it's dining, we're talking about everything al fresco. And I've been dying to do it with you, Danny.
Yes.
Is here to show us how. I've been jealous for so many years because I see you talking to all the presenters. I never get an opportunity
It's your
with
turn.
you. It's my time to dine with you. So we're doing al fresco. I mean, obviously, summer's around the corner. It feels honestly like the winter's been forever.
It does.
And I'm ready for this, and I'm seeing some beautiful pops of color. What's going on? Tell me about the al fresco colorways for the season.
I'm glad that you said you're looking forward to summer.
I am.
Because I think we're all feeling that post-pandemic.
Yeah.
And that's what these color palettes are all about. It's so cheerful and happy and vibrant. The colorways that are coming through this season, there's lots of like watermelon and coral, beautiful Asia, turquoise blues. Makes you feel like you're sitting on a Greek island without a passport, even though we can't go anywhere. Right?
I like that. This is like me feeling like I'm in my element. It screams tropical. And the minute you said watermelon, I was like, yes, spot on.
Right?
I'm getting hungry as well. But talk to me about this, because it looks like there's a lot going on. I mean, even from the backrest. Hey!
Watermelons,
right?
I see you now.
there's a
Well
theme
played.
coming.
But look at the entire experience you've got here. I really feel like I've been whisked away into another land.
Want
but
some tips?
How did you do this? Yes,
Right.
please. I want to entertain my people too like this.
So the tip for me with alfresco dining is making it simple and unbreakable. So food safe melamine, I love these. The colors are true, but they're easy,
Melamine, is that the material we're using
unbreakable.
here?
Exactly.
Ah, okay.
Can't break.
So the
I
kids
know
can
they
join
don't
in
look
too.
like plastic, but these are BPA-free plastic glasses, all of them. So
ways.
again, unbreakable, great
beautiful.
for poolside and for picnics. And then these sustainable wooden boards I think are brilliant because I think the joy of alfresco dining is to be able to share food. So piling everything onto platters and everybody helps themselves, whether that's like fancy cheese board charcuterie or burri rolls after the fire.
got you. I love it.
That for me is kind of what it's all about, to keep it really simple and casual.
And I like the fact that we're not going for that extravagance. It's not like a big show. It feels natural. It's blending with the environment we're in.
Thanks.
I see what you've done now. I see why everyone wants a taste of Danny now.
We just want a little bit of comfort here.
But I mean, with so much going on, for me, the sustainability in this is something that's quite important. I love being nature boy. I love the natural elements here. What's your favorite, though, when it comes to everything out on
well,
our
you see,
spread?
now I should be saying that, but actually what I want to be stealing is one of these.
These are so cool.
Aren't they great?
Yeah.
So they're also made with recycled inners. So again, like there's a nice sustainability journey, but I love these. These are the cushion pads. They've also got scatter cushions, but they're great. Like it adds a little bit of comfort. It adds a pop of color. We all know I'm obsessed with that, and I love the experience of having these at a picnic or around a pool or whatever it is. I think they're really cool.
I absolutely
So these are my
love it.
faves.
It looks fun. It looks like summer.
They kind of mix
even
and
if it
match
was
you.
a
I mean, I know I'm clashing, but they should be
you
mix
look
and
good.
match.
You look good. But look, guys, that's such an incredible opportunity to take advantage of the good weather coming up. Summer is around the corner, and you can shop all this alfresco dining experiences at Woolworths, online, on the app, or in store. Enjoy. All right, so Danny was obviously serving us up with all this beauty, the pops of color when it comes to the alfresco experience. And speaking of pops of color outdoors, here's something for you to look forward to when it comes to color indoors. Check this one out.
Now, this is going to blow your mind. 2021 has almost come and gone,
Crazy.
girl. That is
Crazy.
insane. What a roller coaster it has been. And as we start moving towards a brand new year, we can expect to see some amazing new color trends in the world of design and how we can use them in our homes, because we need to refresh our spaces after the year we've had. We're now chatting to interior designer Trisha van der Merwe on what color trends we can expect for 2022. Trisha, I can't believe I'm saying 2022, but it's an exciting time and we need something to feel positive about. So glad that we get to plug into your amazing mind when it comes to our interiors. Yeah.
And I'm going to say it because everyone's going to say it in a few months. New year, new me, 2022.
Yeah.
What color trends can we expect for 2022?
So for this year, we saw a revival in the earthy, neutral tones as people try to bring that calm tones into their work and home lives.
Yeah.
But that is going to keep on as a palette, but there's going to be color. It's going to be cheerful yellows,
Yay.
deep reds, timeless blues, and soft, natural greens. So it's just exciting to know that there's going to be pops of color going to take us as a new, better year.
You've hit the nail on the head. A new, better year, because we need it. Why are these pops of colour so hot for 2022? What's motivating the introduction of these new colours?
The soft olives and sage still brings that nourishment effect that people still craves, which makes it a great colour for the bedrooms. And the red and blues gives us the reminiscence of the retro era, making it just a fun colour to bring in.
Yeah,
like that contrast as
We've
well.
also been speaking about color therapy and how just a certain color can hype up your mood. How do we do this in our home? How do we introduce colors into the home?
So for the bold-hearted people, we really encourage them to take on an entire room and doing the entire room in tones of that one color. doing the walls, the architraves, the detailing, all in the tones, in different tones, and going through with that. With the more faint-hearted, it's a less costly, just bringing it in with the scatters, the rugs, the curtaining, and keeping the basic palette throughout.
And yeah, maybe just start with something small, introduce something, and if it has an emotional resonance with you, especially in your bedroom or like those more intimate spaces, just, you know, like explore, have a little bit of fun. It's a new year. What else has got you excited about 2022? Are there any other trends when it comes to our interiors and design that you're excited about?
So we are really experimenting with doing the entire room a colour. Going the walls, the detailing as your architraves and your skirtings, and taking that for the entire space bold, and that diminishes the limit of the space of the room, making the space feel bigger in a bold statement.
I love it. What I'm picking up, and I'm just trying to think of that one room that I want to transform now, and thinking of all the little details, the elements, the cornices, things that you can do in a slightly different shade. Get bold, have a little bit of fun, get excited, and I think colour is the perfect way to do that. I'm ready. I'm inspired for 2022.
You've inspired us. You've inspired Mzansi. Thank you so much.
I'm ready for 2022. I really am.
Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
Yep, you heard it here first. No matter the colour or even the latest trends, you can find your dream colour and get the look you have always wanted with Plascon.
Join Expresso this spring to stand a chance of winning a 4,000 Rand Plascon voucher weekly as we ask how you colour your life. Is it the cherry red in your ride, maybe the burst of new blues from your garden, or the sunsets and seascapes of a favourite getaway? Well, answer our weekly social media question and find the terms and conditions on expressoshow.com. Then colour your life with 4,000 Rand paint vouchers to be won all spring on Expresso.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back, you beautiful souls. Thank you so much for keeping it locked. You know what time of the week it is, what time of the day it is. It's time to delve back into the culinary hotline. Bling! Ting, ting, ting! It's been too long. Everybody's favorite chef, a Clem chef, is here just for you. No, we're not doing seafood because I know that was like a three-part thriller. People wanted to know more, but we've had a ton of great questions come through and you're ready to answer. And of course, we are loving being outdoors, so maybe that's inspired us this morning. We've been dealing with al fresco dining, a great way to set the scene outside, but now we need to back it up with a little bit of culinary inspiration. And man, you've decked the halls, buddy. You have decked
We've got
the
some
halls.
Interesting questions today.
Really
and
interesting
talking about al fresco cooking, we've just been like, as much
as we can, just like heading outside and eating outside. It makes every meal an event. Just to chill outside as the sun starts setting. It gets a bit poetic, romantic. You look into your partner's eyes.
Like I'm looking at you like right now, hey? You lean in. And it's beautiful and it's romantic.
Just make every meal amazing.
You really do appreciate living in this beautiful country when you can get outdoors and absolutely savor it. So let's get right in here. We've had some great questions, so thank you so much. If you've got any questions, feel free to give us a shout. Feel free to connect with us on our social media platforms. We'd love to hear from you. But this one's coming from Linda from Mpumalanga. And she is saying, how to cook gizzards correctly.
Oh, I love this one.
She always finds them to be too tough. Okay. So it's less of a question and more of a, she just can't do it, man.
Is that, whoa.
What? Hang on.
Could that be her?
I hope so. It's either that or Batman. A very good morning. Who am I speaking to?
It's Linda.
Linda! Yay! Linda, a very good morning. I'm going to put you on speakerphone here so both Chef Clem and I can chat to you. Linda, thank you so much for connecting with us. We love to hear from you. So I understand you're having trouble with your gizzards. Talk us through your conundrum.
Well, not my gizzard. It's the chicken's gizzard.
And you're funny. You're made for TV. I love it. So what is the problem here? Just always too tough, too chewy?
Yeah, always too tough. You seem to talk to people and they've got the same problem. So I want to solve all their problems as well as my problems.
I love that. You're doing it for the team.
For everyone. Okay, so if you think about the anatomy of the gizzard, right? These are muscles that are continuously working. The heart continuously pumps. The neck, if you think of the neck of a chicken, is like...
always doing that thing.
So those meat, the meat there, the meat in the heart, the meat in the stomach is just continuously working. They're quite tough because they've developed strong muscle around that.
There's a lot of tissue that you've got to break down. Okay.
The only way you can break that down is low and slow cooking. So, do you want to do this one? I've got some stomach.
Linda, say it with me. Low and slow.
Okay, so that's why they're amazing in potjies, because potjies go for such a long time. So by the time the potjie's done, that meat is completely softened, it's beautifully tender, and you get that's exactly what you want out of gizzards. So gizzards, giblets.
Because there is a lot of flavor there.
Tons. Again, because that muscle is working so much, as it develops muscle, it also develops flavor. Same thing about chicken versus white meat and dark meat. The dark meat not as tender as the white meat, but has more flavor. So let's get to it.
Okay, so how are we going to do this, bro?
We're going to make a nice aromatic, like curry-ish gizzard dish, okay? So this is enough. So this is from the Lazy Makoti. This is her recipe.
Oh, wow.
And I like introducing curry into when you're making giblets or when you're making offal in general, because sometimes people say, I don't like the flavor of whatever, it's too gamey.
Because it is quite powerful,
So a good way is to add spice to it. You complement it. So onions are going nice and soft. We're going to go in with a little chili powder.
Because you do. You roast off your spices first when you're making a curry.
Yeah, absolutely.
Always.
Chili powder, a little masala going in, a little... Sorry, that wasn't masala. It was chili powder, paprika. Now we're doing garam masala.
Cool.
There we go. Ginger and garlic. So exactly like you said, we're going to roast all the spices. But what I'm also going to do is I'm going to flavor the oil.
You see.
The oil carries the flavor through.
I stole that intellectual property, and everyone thought I was like a culinary genius, because I was like, the reason why I'm doing this and roasting off the flavors in the oils, because that oil is going to permeate through the entire dish.
Absolutely.
It carries the flavor.
It carries the flavor.
And bay leaves, yeah?
Bay leaves.
Curry leaves.
I actually was supposed to use some of the bay leaves for another recipe, but my rule is whenever onions go into a pan, add bay leaves.
Because I've started using bay leaves a lot more because you say that I must.
Do you know, it's not so much, it's not about the flavor. It's what I'm starting to find out. It's about the way that it breaks down fats and it breaks down elements of that dish.
Really? So it releases other flavors.
Absolutely. So that's the thing, but you want to get it in there whenever you can.
And you're not too high a heat here, hey? You're not burning your spices. You just...
Because what I'm looking for, which is exactly what we spoke about, as soon as your oil starts looking that color, where it starts taking on the color of the spices, that's good.
Perfect.
And where you can smell, it doesn't smell raw.
Because it's going to keep cooking for a long time.
Absolutely, absolutely.
I get that. Okay,
so,
brilliant.
There we go. Salt goes in. There's no such... You can't get a good curry without a generous amount of salt. Not to make it salty, but you can have the best spice mix in the world. If you don't have enough salt in there, you're not going to taste anything.
The salt activates it. Okay.
There we go. Okay. Chicken stomachs, my favorite. So what I also like doing is I cook them low and slow in a curry. Then I take the chicken stomachs out. I skewer them on the braai.
Oh, wow.
It is so smoky and so delicious.
Yeah,
it is so good.
Adding a whole different flavor profile layer. Love
Absolutely.
that.
So you don't need to brown it like you would normally, like if you want to brown your chicken to get extra flavor, you don't need it. There's a lot of flavor in there already.
You don't need to seal it. Yeah.
But what you do want to do is you want to get a nice amount of the oil on the chicken so you could like really start soaking up that flavor. And then the next step is pepper. And again, I'm very generous with pepper in curries. And you just want to go with water. You can add tomato to this. You can add tomato paste, tomato puree, but kind of just keep on tempering it. Again, this is why it works so well in a potjie. To make it nice and rich, I would add a little bit of tomato to it.
Okay.
It's going to cook. It's going to thicken. If you want it nice and saucy, that's when you add the tomato. What's going to happen is that sauce is going to slowly start reducing when you put the lid on. So by the time it's done, the onions are completely soft. Those stomachs are coated in that curry spice, and then you get steamed bread.
Oh my goodness!
And then you just get in there.
You make your own bread. You make
your own bread,
and you smash it. I absolutely love that. So that's the key here, Linda and the army.
Last thing, it's going to go for about an hour.
At least.
Like, again, nice and low and slow, about an hour, you can see it'll start getting more tender. If you want to let it go for 3 hours, because
in the context of a potjie, if you wanted to build this up, what would you put with this?
So, okay, let's just do it like a nice chicken one. So if you want to make it a beautiful offal pot, go with chicken necks, go with chicken hearts, go with the stomachs like we've done. And then you can go and add, at the end, go and add some chicken pieces, your regular chicken pieces to it.
Do you want those little bits that are going to have all of the flavor so that when you take it out, you can get into all the little bones and...
Yes. So this won't break apart. So you can literally cook it for about 3 hours. That muscle's not going to fall apart. It's just going to get more tender, more tender. So time is your friend in this one. Let it just go.
But you're not using time, though.
No time.
No time, but lots of time, if that makes any sense. Okay. Slow and low, you can find this beautiful new curry take on how to cook offal on expressoshow.com. Absolutely love that. All right, let's jump on to another question here that is beautiful. And I'm hoping that we're going to be able to get her on the line because this one is relating to something that I absolutely...
She's there.
I hope it's her.
Wow.
I hope it's her. It could be one of our mothers, but hello, Mom. Hello, who's there?
Hello, it's Marlene.
Ah, Marlene.
Hello,
thank you. It's so good to have you connect with us. Obviously, I'm stood alongside the greatest chef in the world.
Oh, wow.
Chef Clem, who is ready to answer your questions. So I'm going to put you on speakerphone, and then you fire away. What is your kitchen conundrum today?
Okay, thanks. Chef, I've got some mussels in shells.
Mussels in shells.
Can I boil them from frozen? Because I tried it and none of the shells opened.
Ah.
Okay. So we're talking about seafood the past few weeks, and we were hoping to do more. One of them was going to be about mussels. So mussels in shells, essentially when they're frozen, they're still alive. Sounds cool, but it's okay. Apparently they don't have a nervous system. Our vegan in the background is like fretting right now, but it's fine. So what happens is when you freeze mussels in their whole shell, when you want to start cooking them, you do want to let them thaw. And the good thing about the mussels is that whale sounds in the background.
Was that a whale? Was that an actual whale?
My baby. My grandson, actually, not my baby.
Oh, it's very sweet. Very making me miss my girl, yeah.
The good thing about the mussels, they don't take long to thaw out. They take about 20 minutes to thaw out, and then you can add them to the pot. And the reason is you want to make sure you cook all the way through the mussel. They're not going to pop open as much as they would when they are fresh.
But they still will open.
They will open slightly. And also, so that's the thing about cooking mussels from frozen. They're not going to open up all the way. They're not going to butterfly. So the rule is when you're cooking fresh mussels and they don't butterfly all the way, you discard them.
Okay.
When they cook from frozen and you thaw them out, it's just going to pop open. So don't be scared. That's fine. But yes, thaw your mussels out. It doesn't take long. And that way you're sure to cook all the way through the mussel because you want to do that, especially if it's been frozen. And that's the way to cook mussels. I love mussels. So that's a very good question.
Absolutely love it. Well, hopefully that's answered your question. Just a little bit of patience, thaw them out. They won't take too long, and then just be aware that they're not going to fully butterfly once they are cooked, but they will still open, so you know they're a healthy, good mussel. Brilliant, brilliant question. Absolutely love it. Thank you so much. Any more questions, conundrums? We are ready to help. We are ready to answer. We are loving dining outdoors at the moment. Al fresco inspiration is what we're after. More on the way.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back, everybody. This is your Feel Good Breakfast Show. It's the final few minutes, and we're back once more on the Expresso stage with music project Face and the Features, and he's closing us out by giving us an exclusive performance of his new single releasing this Friday called Must Be Dreaming. And no, you're not dreaming, because here they are with it.
Will you come with me to the moon? I hear that there's a party going on, and it's getting real funky. Ooh, oh, oh yeah, 'cause I've been vibing out for a while, and I can't get enough of this feeling. No, I can't get enough. Oh, let's make it better. It's now or never. Whoa, I gotta keep it alive. It feels so good. It's just a matter of time. It feels so good. I must be dreaming. I must be dreaming. Oh, I gotta keep it alive. It feels so good. It's just a matter of time. It feels so good. I must be dreaming. I must be dreaming. Oh, don't wake me up. No, no, don't wake me up. No, no, don't wake me up. No, no, don't wake me up. Don't wake me, please. Dance with me, love. Dance like we got something to prove. I don't wanna hear a story. Ooh, I just wanna see you move. Move, move, oh, move like you mean it. Move like you care. Let's give the stars a reason to stare. Isn't it wonderful? Oh, I feel the fire rise higher and higher. Ooh, I gotta keep it alive. It feels so good. It's just a matter of time. It feels so good. I must be dreaming. I must be dreaming. Oh, I gotta keep it alive. It feels so good. It's just a matter of time. It feels so good. I must be dreaming. I must be dreaming. Oh, it feels so good. I gotta keep it alive. It feels so good. It's just a matter of time. It feels so good. I must be dreaming. I must be dreaming. Oh, I gotta keep it alive. It feels so good. It's just a matter of time. It feels so good. I must be dreaming. I must be dreaming. Oh, I gotta keep it alive. It feels so good. It's just a matter of time. It feels so good. I must be dreaming. I must be dreaming. Oh, I gotta keep it alive. It feels so good. It's just a matter of time. It feels so good. I must be dreaming. I must be dreaming. Oh, it feels so good.
It does.
Come on.
Yes, it does. Feels so good.
Face and the Features, absolute legends. I'm going to ask our producers to try and negotiate with them to play us out with one more tune. Absolutely beautiful. Like, I joked with them earlier saying, let's rock out, gents. And they're like, no, we're not rocker. But they're knee slappers, hey? Once you get that groove, it's such an addictive vibe.
Not move your body when you listen to this, even if you're in a bad mood. It kind of just elevates you. It's
Early
real,
on, you
man.
said you wanted a vibe, you wanted a big party. This is the party just for you. You
And
got to shake your
I
hips
was
over
rocking
here.
those hips, getting loose.
I wonder if they could follow us around for the rest of the day.
If we scream and ask for more, can we get it?
Yeah.
We want more.
We want more.
We want more. We want more. I'm hoping that we can get some more. We've got to say to all of you beautiful souls, thank you so much for joining us this morning, focusing on the animations and how amazing South African animation is at the moment. Absolutely just so inspiring. Thank you so much to Liuso. He gave me a whole pile of crazy comics to take back for my boy, so really chuffed with that. We've inspired you to eat outdoors, and hopefully right now we are going to inspire you with another performance from this amazing musical project that is Face and the Features. Gentlemen, thank you. We love you. Take it away.
Thank you.
Voices whispering, I hear them every day. Secrets carried by the wind, confessions cast away. Collected by the palm tree who lives outside my door. The lullaby it sings me brings peace to endless war. Hypnotize me, satisfy me, understand me, no more plan B. Feel my heartbeat, touch my bare feet. Listen closely, I'll speak slowly. La 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 la. La 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 I should try harder. Who knows what I...
Here's to the season of sunny breakfasts, healthy lunch breaks in the great outdoors, and romantic sunset dinners. Made with love by Clover.
Another feel-good production.
Understand me, no more plan B. Feel my heartbeat, touch my